Recording. Crack that open. Transitioning. Boom! Back at it again. This week's Friday Q&A with Chocks A number 57. Couldn't you be asked to use two hands? Thank you for joining us today. It is the 9th of February. It is 10 p.m. in Hong Kong. Good morning, America. Good afternoon, EU. A very good evening to you guys in Asia, and a very, very good evening to Australians. Thank you so much for joining us. Where are you right now? What should you be doing instead of watching this? And how is your week been? It's been a week, Chocks, since we've been here. It has gone very, very quickly. We have Jake in the house. Sav,
Jake,
you guys in the office. Sav, it's like as if you've never seen a Friday Q&A. We are always in the office for these Q&As.
Actually, it's pretty early for Sav because usually he wakes up like 2 hours into the stream. It's like, oh, what did I miss?
So yeah, Sav, we were in C3 today. That's in Hong Kong, so it was just a trip across.
Yep.
Went there in the morning, had some lunch, came back, and then prepared for the stream. So it's not like it was too difficult to get that done and back here. Hey, Joshua. So it's midnight for you, so you must be in Aussie land. C3 was small, but it was nice to go to it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of chilled. It's quite spacious.
It's nice to get people bumping into you. Well, bumping into people, I should say.
We saw a fight. A fight broke out.
That was like the most random thing ever. It was
I think we probably just missed it. As in, like we.
Yeah, but he whacked him. We had a bit of a whack, and then they literally just stopped.
I think one guy jumped in and pulled him away. Right, pulled the guy away, and the other guy just went back into his queue. Usually, fights normally start off by people either jumping into the queue or somebody's groping somebody.
Really?
Yeah.
Why no one groped me? Very strange.
Yeah.
Hey Callum, thanks for joining. Did you meet many people that knew you? Saw that one guy in the club? So the answer to that is actually.
Did you meet many people that knew you guys? Saw the one guy in the club.
Actually, that's a funny story. Okay, well,
desperate.
I was admiring a Persona 5 figure that I'd seen online, and it was interesting to see it in the flesh. And I was looking at it, and this guy sort of like booted me out of the way. I was like, "Oh, I just want to take a photo of this."
Actually,
it's like, get the hell out of the way.
No, we were there first.
Yeah, we were there first.
Anyway, did he like move you out of the way?
Well, I was hoping for more of a grope, but it didn't quite push me out of the way. It was just more like he was just like, "Oh, is it okay if I take a photo of this?" I'm like, "Okay, fine."
After us.
Well,
we were discussing about something.
Yeah. And I guess we were just sort of talking about it, right? And saying what we would have done differently, what we would have done this. Just little talks, right? As you do, internal little talks. And
did you notice there was a Mega Man at the end of the row?
Was there?
Yeah, did you not see it?
No. I was too busy getting booed out the way. And then he was sort of like booting me out the way. Said, "Can I just take a photo of this?" I'm like, "Sure." By the way, take a photo of me, go to this website, log in, and say, "Are there any Persona 5 fans?" and see what happens. It's like, "Who the fuck are you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, just do it. Don't worry about it." So that's how that went down. So it wasn't exactly the guys sort of like, "I'm from Brunei. This is my first time to Hong Kong. What the hell is going on?"
He's not a local, is he?
He's not a local. So then we saw the boys from Toys TV. Yeah, they bumped into you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Of course, we saw our boys over from Sunrise.
Yeah.
And you saw we saw our boy from Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
So it's nice to sort of just walk down and you see the industry.
It's
folks,
nice, yeah.
Yeah. And you spent. You were like the Bandai Namco guy. You were like, so about these booth babes.
Oh man.
Indeedy.
Yeah.
Michael Lai is looking for a single Australian. How long are you going to be there, Michael? You're going to be there for what? For whole of university, like 3 years?
This one, do you not see this one? It's from that.
Yeah. I didn't see it. Hey, thanks, Barry. Appreciate the kind words on that. And as we were walking down, we saw a Dark Magician cosplayer. Thought that was cool. Took a photo of that. That was nice. So yeah, you know, C3 is part of the week in review.
Nice to check out recent trend anime-wise. Cosplayers.
Yep.
It's different type of people, right? Different type of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also we were sort of looking, just because we're planning to do an Anicom, which is the one in July, just in terms of selling merchandise.
Just to check out.
Just to see what's going on.
Some of the booth designs, some of the booth space. Yeah. Research purposes.
Nice one. Michael Lyons doing marine biology. Nice one. Patrick Halloran. Guts update. All factory employees have to use their own blood from the statues for extra F4F touch of authenticity. Bada bing, bada boom.
Signed with a bloody thumbprint.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be here for 3 years. What is up, Andy Carver? Loving that profile pic. How's it going, Norma Jean?
Norma Jean.
Norma Jean. All right, cool. Week in review. Well, we kind of talked a little bit about C3. We might as well just finish that off. It was lovely about that Cowboy Bebop. Was lovely to show you guys, and I've been very happy with the reaction. A lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of comments about it, which is great. You know, to sort of show how it would look, you can really kind of see how the actual crew would look like, because the footprint is actually quite small for a 1/4 scale. Yeah, they're tall, but the actual footprints are quite narrow, which means it's great. You can really envisage the full crew next to each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us know if you actually saw that video as well. What do you thought about that? As I'd be interested to hear your comments on that. So, you know, that was nice to be able to show you, and I think it was kind of good to actually show both of them at the same time, to be honest with you, Chocks, because we showed both of them at the same time, right? It meant that you could really better envisage that. You can really sort of see how they are with 2 together. You can therefore, in your mind, piece together the final of 2.
We should have printed out a cutout and just plonked them next to it, so you can see how it would look.
But that booth was just the right size, perfect, just for those 2. But you know, it would be nice to do that team. And of course, if we wanted to do Julia, Sid Vicious, any of those are to be done later if the support is there, because they're kind of like standalone. You can kind of just like put them, assemble them accordingly. Yeah, that's right, Patrick. We've been working on it for a while. They are already at that stage, so it was really nice to show you guys, and it was lovely to see those reactions. Of course, talking about Cowboy Bebop, if we keep it on that, we can talk a little bit about that head for Jet Black. That's something that I've been working on this week, and finally got to that place where, of course, thanks power to the OCC for help and feedback and opinions on those, and made the changes and universally pretty much done. So of course it might be a bit here, a bit there, but pretty much I believe there's a better improvement, and we will continue accordingly. And of course this year is the 20th anniversary.
20th anniversary Cowboy Bebop.
Perfect timing.
I know.
Perfecto timingu.
So all the stars are aligned.
Absolutely.
April.
Absolutely.
April the 3rd.
Yeah. Hey Dean, no news on Alphonse apart from the fact that I'm going to be submitting it to the licensor to be checking pretty soon. Yeah, I know how you feel about those bases, Nana. Say you love them. You absolutely love them. I know you love it. Who's the next for pre-order? We are still working on that. We should have some more information if everything goes smoothly. Well, I think we can say next week will be the pre-order for SD Artorias exclusive. That will be live next week. We will open up the pre-orders. Of course, the following Tuesday will be up for validation Tuesdays. Hopefully that does well, because we have a lot of plans for SDs. So yeah, we look forward to doing that. That is already deep in production, so we're kind of how's the word? We're kind of like having to do it earlier. If it was in a perfect world, to be honest with you, Chocks, we would have probably delayed it a little bit longer. And the reason for that would be because we just launched Ornstein. Now, of course, they're completely different price points, right? But there's still maybe... I mean, but is there such a thing as too much DS?
No. There's always going to be people that want some smaller scale.
Sure.
Maybe, you know, they okay, fine, they can have the large DS pieces at home. Maybe they're worried about putting them at work.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to pick up something small so I can put it by the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Take it to work or whatever it may be. So, but as I said, in a perfect world, I would have probably delayed it a little bit, but actually we're going to keep it around about now, because the sole reason for that is we're already in production at the moment, and the longer we leave it, we can't... It's easy to add or reduce numbers on the exclusive, depending on the orders for the next 2 weeks, if we make the decision before Chinese New Year finishes. So we have a deadline to get through. Otherwise, we could technically make all the production first, then find out that we had more exclusives than we expected and not be able to fulfill it. And that would be like, you know, that boo-boo all over again that we saw with Nightmare and we saw with Fighter Kirby. So of course we want to avoid that as best as we can. So that's why we're bringing in the Artorias SD, and we've just seen the exclusive packaging, Chocks. The mock-up on that is looking super, super tight. If you guys liked what you saw with the Crash packaging, you will love what is happening with the Artorias SD.
We definitely heard
packaging.
a lot of positive and negative feedback with regards to the Crash packaging.
Right.
And so we went back to the drawing board and see if we can improve on that. Hopefully this how do I put it? This new change for the SD line, hopefully you guys will like that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My only complaint is that if you already have the Artorias, you might not want the chibi. Not the same, I know, but there might be... Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Patrick, but to be honest with you, we're actually trying to access those people that wanted the Artorias resin, but it was out of their price point. That's who these are really for. Of course, it would be great to have those who actually have the Artorias as well, but let's face it, that Artorias was pre-ordered a year ago. No, what am I even talking about? It was pre-ordered a year and a half ago. Goodness.
Yeah. It was
July, when you started.
It was the second pre-order when
yeah. Obviously, you'll never forget your first. You never do forget your first. There you go. So that was interesting to do that. But, you know, in terms of that, I can appreciate what you're saying, but actually, as I said, it's for those people who have the desire for those Artorias.
Just trying to offer more choices. I mean,
exactly.
Fine, if you don't want it, that's fine, no problem. You know, save yourself some extra money for the next pre-order. If you like it, hey, great.
And as you know, to be honest with you, as we start moving forwards into the future, we might actually find that we do a big and small. Yeah. A big and small. At the same time,
Two birds with one stone.
Perhaps.
You like your PVCs, you like your resins, boom.
It's almost like you like the... No, a lot of the time you're going to find that this is very much like, I love the resins, but I can't afford it. Simple as. And we have to be...
But I still want to collect it, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Or maybe, you know, I'm concerned I have like pets or whatever it is, and, you know, I'm... Some people are just not very careful when it comes to delicate pieces.
But it would also really only make sense for huge hitters, because of course the molds on that, and if it doesn't sell well, it could be a problem.
Yeah,
you don't want to
like double the risk.
Companies, so
double the risk.
So you know that's well, Patrick. Hopefully, that goes.
I'm never going to be a millionaire.
What is up, Adrian? Nice one, Daniel. Appreciate you sharing the DS love. Hey, JC. Have a great day. Shame you can't stay and enjoy with us, but have a great day. So you know, going back to the next, we were just talking about how the next pre-order will be Artorias SD, and we really hope that does well, because as you may have seen today, I just showed the F4F SD logo. Now, is that a way I can sort of show it easily?
On your mobile?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Because a lot of people are a little bit confused about
what's an SD.
Yeah.
What's DS?
Here it is. Okay.
Excuse me.
All right, let's have a look at this. Okay, so here we go. F4F SD001 and then 1DS. Now, what does that mean? Well, of course, you have the F4F. Let me just turn off all my turn off all my notifications in case.
Oh yeah, I can see the it Clash Royale.
Well, no, that's not that. I'm just worried that those secret license was maybe like,
yeah.
oh yeah, approved. Yeah.
Denied.
Denied. Oh, Square Enix denied again. Right, so here we have the F4F logo, because standard as hell, right? The SD stands for super deformed, and it's that kind of chibi style where you have an enlarged head and a smaller body. Now, this 001 is confusing a lot of people here, Chocks. This is actually the number in the entirety of the entire series. I would love for there to be hundreds, thousands of SD PVCs over our our time as a company. So if we take Artorias as an example, this is the one exactly going to be Artorias. He is the pioneer to lead the way, to be the beacon, to represent F4F SD, and I couldn't think of anything better to do that with than with Artorias. So we have here the F4F logo. The SD, of course, is representing the line, and that is obviously SD version. And then we have 001, and that happens to be Artorias, which is great. Now, the DS represents the actual, the brand, the franchise, and that's obviously Dark Souls. And the 01 is the number of the figure is in that brand line. Now, it's kind of confusing, right? Because Artorias is number 1 overall, and it's also number 1 of the DS series. So if we take, for example, let's just say Sombro is the 20th PVC under the SD series that we've ever released.
Just make it simple. Let's say Artorias, like 001 is, all the lines combined together.
Exactly.
Right? That's the very first PVC line for the whole, all the licenses we have, for example. And then the DS01 is Artorias. Let's say the next PVC release is, I don't know, like a chibi Zelda, whatever it is, yeah?
Yeah.
That would be,
here we go. It will be, as you said, SD, because it's the SD range, and it will be 002, because it's the second ever.
Doesn't matter what line it is, it's second
doesn't
ever
matter.
For
Exactly.
F4F.
Exactly.
And then on the number at the end will
be 01
because it's the
and
first
LOZ.
one. Yeah.
There you go.
Because it's the first Zelda chibi for that Legend of
LOZ.
Zelda.
There you go. Exactly.
And then
so
if we go back to the third one, if we go back to
Sombro, that will be SD003
because it's
the third one we ever made.
Yeah.
And then that will be DS again, 02. Bada bing, bada boom. So a lot of people are getting confused where they think that 001 is actually the number on the bottom of your base. That's not the case.
I think once you release a few,
it will make perfect
sense because those numbers will be different.
Yes, and the point is, it will be on the regular box, it will be on the exclusive box. It doesn't make any difference about if there's a number on the bottom of the base. It's just, this is the very first SD we've ever released. Now, the question is, guys, I want to use this concept for the regular ones. And the regular ones are BOTW Link, I'll classify that as number 1. And I'll classify Crash as number 2. Now, number 3 will be not Artorias. That doesn't count because that is SD. But number 3 in the normal range, we will be, which we obviously announced, is Amaterasu. All right, from Okami. Amaterasu. So, what should we name the regular series? The normal series. What would you give us any ideas? SD, obviously super deformed, makes sense for that chibi style. We've got that locked down. What do we call the regular stuff? So we will obviously have that on the boxes as well. I think it would be nice to do that. So we can come back and we can just look and say, man, how many have we made? And we'll be like, I don't know. Actually, all we need to do is just look at the latest packaging and we can just see exactly what it is. Laura now gets it. So the chibi number is a global, global throughout the SD series. Exactly right. Global, so what do we call the OG line? RG and OG. We go OG. Underformed. UD. That's quite a good point. Expecting no hiccups. When can we expect Bowser in hand? Bowser's too early to say. We're going to hit that after Chinese New Year. In terms of that's easy.
The estimated for Bowser is still at Q4, I think. What was it, Q3 or Q4? It's on the product.
Yeah. is Majora's Mask. That is, you're based in the UK, Adam. Regular and exclusive get theirs in about a month because it gets on a boat.
Yeah. Before Chinese New Year.
Yeah. OG. Original gangster, F4F OG. Maybe. That's quite cool. I like it.
STD.
Why not? Why not? What is up, Jorge? How's it going, mate? MCE royalty in the house.
Yo.
Aku is Q3. Yeah, Chapador sounds about right. You know, that will be pretty straightforward. STD.
Yeah, you saw that.
STD.
Nothing STD about those STDs.
Will there be a reservation weekend for Artorias SD? What is up, Brenton? It will be just as it was for Crash, with the added extra of the fact that we're opening on Friday and we will validating it on Tuesday. No difference, 2 weeks, plus a last chance weekend. Bada bing, bada boom, done.
2 weeks, last chance week and last chance weekend. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What is up, Joe? How's it going in the UK? What is the weather like where you are? It's been a little bit warmer this week, which is great news. I'm leaning towards OG. ND, UD.
What?
I'm just thinking what that could be. Quite like that idea. Price for Artie, let's just say it is more complicated paint-wise by a factor of a lot than Breath of the Wild Link, just for a consideration. Oh, it's been snowing in the UK.
Really? Has that been going on for a while? Was it just started?
SDR, SDX.
Sounds like a car, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like a car.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Some supermodel.
Hey, Rob, I'm glad you like that. Much appreciated.
What?
Oh, that's cool. He's going to pose them all and have a brick wall behind them. Yeah. Or you could also do that police mock-up.
With the heights.
Yeah.
The mugshot.
Absolutely. You know, Berserk SD. Now, so why are we here talking about SD for Dark Souls? Why? Well, look, here's the reason. Banpresto have made basically our Artorias, but smaller, right?
Right.
We didn't really want to just do that because it's already been done by other companies, and what's the point? So the SD concept was really to address the fact that we wanted to be accessible to Dark Souls fans who can't afford the higher end resins, and try and give them the same quality of a resin but in a PVC. At least in terms of the paint hits, of course it will be, there are some differences, but try our best to recreate what we did with the resins in putting it into the SD. Now, that is the reason why we came up with that SD version for the Dark Souls range, and I think the same reasons that we did that for Dark Souls, if we were to do it in Berserk, it would make sense a PVC to be SD rather than OG, depending on what the terminology is. So yeah, in terms of, I would love to do a Guts SD. I would love to do that. Well, we'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how the resin line does as well.
Yeah, of course.
That would make a big difference.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick off the rest of the week, Chocks. Where are we at? Week in review. FDL 2.0 get people pumping on
Well, let me just start some important notices
yeah,
first.
of course,
Because hey guys, this Friday tonight there's no new launches, because Alex just mentioned that next Friday is going to be the first launch for the SD line. So tonight is mainly about the Metal Gear Solid, the Solid Snake that's been doing pretty well. Tonight we're going to end the exclusive version. We're going to stop that, put that pre-order on hold for 2 weeks.
I cannot believe this, Chocks. I still haven't done the freaking shovel. I'm going to do it right now. You talk.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my shovel.
I'll try. Yeah, okay.
Oh shit.
Right. So yeah,
I will get absolutely castrated if I don't do it now.
The Solid Snake pre-order for the exclusive version is going to stop tonight, and then the pre-order for the exclusive version will reopen again for the last chance weekend in 2 weeks' time, which is February 23rd to the 26th. So you know, that's fine if you missed out tonight, or you're still waiting, you know, to, you know, whatever, you know, for more feedback, or waiting to get paid, or whatever it is, that you still have a last chance weekend for Solid Snake.
What is up, more heat?
Yeah. But what we're gonna do tonight as well is gonna open the last chance weekend for Oni. So this is it. This is the last chance to get your guaranteed pre-orders in. That's going to open after the stream tonight up until the 12th. So if you're on the fence, this is it. Because, you know, if you pre-order now, you don't have to worry anything about wait lists later on. So keep that in mind. We'll make everything go live tonight. And then the Facebook profile winner will be selected after the pre-order ends for...
This weekend?
No, it's not. When the pre-order ends for Oni.
Yeah, I mean like Tuesday.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tuesday. Yeah,
after this weekend.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, keep talking.
All right.
Keep going.
Keep going.
I'm busy.
Well, it's mainly the weekend review.
Go on in.
Yeah. All right, really? All right.
You were here as well, mate.
All right. All right. So the weekend in review. So Alex was saying the FDL 2.0 pose suggestions. That came out of nowhere.
Hey, why not? It was on Fun Day, so hey, let's make it fun.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting. I've seen a lot of people posting a particular artwork with you know, FDL walking with you know, the like bunch of kids behind him, and yeah, a lot of people chose that. But some people said that it would look kind of weird, you know, because obviously we won't have a backdrop of that, and that kind of look didn't make sense. But hey, you know, you guys wanted that, so it was one of the suggestions. Yeah.
To be honest with you, if that was ever to be a thing, I'd probably just go with my own concept. To be honest with you, I feel like it's.
Is that in the vote? Your own concept.
I'm allowed to do my own concept.
No, it's in the vote.
No.
No?
No, because obviously Fierce Deity Link came out, and we just based it off the graphic, of the thingy bob, right?
Yeah, but when you did the first one, there must have been a few other...
No, we knew to go for that one pose. I mean, we knew from the beginning to go for that one artwork, because that was all there was available, and it was a cool one, right? Whereas the other ones, there's like this one here, which is Hyrule Warriors, is kind of weird, right? And then there's like, he's walking, I'm like, yeah, okay. But I might want to go something more dynamic, something like how you saw there was no artwork for Dark Link. Of course, we had a freedom to do it accordingly. So something like that maybe.
All right. What else? Transit test. That passed. Majora's Mask in silver. You know, the one that was like put together on the same machine.
Oh God, was that only last week?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But that's good news though. That passed. So that's why Majora's Mask and Silver are being shipped out now, due to that results. So hopefully those survive the actual real transit. And once it gets into your hands, do let us know how that went. And if that's good news, then I think it's a definitely good investment in that machine. So we can test that. Jesus, is that gonna? If we put the life-size bus Ami on that, is that thing gonna
fit?
Yeah,
of course it'll fit. Because it fitted 2 massive boxes. Majora's Mask and Silver's box is huge, right?
Right.
And we can configure it.
Ah, okay.
You can figure, the perfect size for that.
All right.
Otherwise, mate, enjoy it. You're gonna be doing this for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then the next side.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Right. Silver packing. All right. So you guys seen the videos. The team up in China has been packing silver. That was shipped down here in the office as well. We had a look at it, and it seems the stuff inside is quite nicely packed. That's been placed inside the trucks as well. Yeah, Tetris style in the trucks, and yeah, so that's doing well. Same goes with Majora's Mask as well. That's been how many went into the trucks? 800, right?
For what?
Majora's Mask.
How many goes in the truck?
Yeah.
How many fits in?
No, how many are being shipped out right now in those trucks?
I couldn't tell you.
It can't be just one truck.
No.
You took it up, right?
Yeah. I mean, because those are going to different destinations. Those are the shipping containers,
Yeah,
right?
the shipping containers. Yeah. So and then you guys saw the packaging for Majora's Mask. We made sure that the paper weren't scratching the eyes, because you guys had some concerns with eyes being scratched. So we made sure that the paper taped down. We added extra paper underneath the tree trunk as well. So hopefully that doesn't rub against the styrofoam. Yeah. So yeah. What else is there? Shipping update. So did you guys see the post with regards to Majora's Mask being shipped out? Before Chinese New Year, the UK guys are going to get the exclusive and reg. The EU guys are going to get the reg. The USA guys are going to get the reg. The Canadians are going to get the exclusive. And then after Chinese New Year, EU guys are going to get the X. US guys are going to get the X. Australia, Asia are going to get both X and reg. And the Canadians are going to get the reg. I think you all know about that anyway. So, but
what is up, Carol? What is up, Braden? What is up, Alex? What is up, Ryan? Hey, Ryan, you becoming very quickly one of the Ryan is quite quickly becoming a OG Photoshop guru and creating quite a lot of funny images. Yeah, I've noticed that. Ryan, I fixed in on him. He did the picture of when I got my F4F license plate thingy bob. He put me next to a really shitty Bang Bang. I got like a boss.
Yeah.
And then the Fast 4 Furious. Yeah.
And then it's like Furious. Yeah.
No, but Fast 4 Furious.
Changed the name as well. I didn't read the name of the logo.
He changed it to Fast.
Oh, right.
Yeah, not Fast and Furious, Fast 4 Furious. Yeah. And a picture of you and me in there. So yeah, no, it's been very cool. What is up, Brittany?
That post was funny.
Why was Jin delayed? Because it didn't pass my inspection. Didn't pass my inspection because it was not as I wanted it. So what was wrong with it? It was they had made it too shiny. The sweat effect had been too overdone. What I had to do was reduce the shine, and they hadn't painted the lips very well. What they done is sort of added lines to do the skin, to do the lines like this, but it looked like a zebra crossing. I was like, what the flying fuck is that? So the way to do with that is to use a wash to push it down, a skin wash, a dark skin wash, to go over it. So then what all of a sudden happens is those zebra fucking crossings actually gets pushed down below the top surface now of the wash. And that actually makes it look subtle, and oh my days, what a difference that made. However, they then wanted me to say, oh, okay, yeah, I've changed to, can I now pack? I got like, oh, you can forget that shit, mate. I want to come back again and see them all like that, not just you've just changed one. So I changed one and I signed it and I said, this is what it needs to look like. They go, okay, do you need to come back and check it? No, they were like, you don't need to come back and check it. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I need to come back and check it. So, and you're not going to get it done before Chinese New Year. Don't fucking try and rush it out before Chinese New Year. So that is what basically happened with regards to Jin.
Yeah. Sonic 25th?
Sonic 25th was never going to get done before Chinese New Year. They were too busy doing silver. Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what they were doing. we haven't seen the Sonic. They haven't done. We've done the silver video. It's been done. It's been uploaded. We just haven't made it live yet.
Yeah.
But they would have seen the Katamari one.
The Katamari one, yeah. Which we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, not there.
All right, cool. So we just talked about the SD new logo, Sonic Boom, Chocks.
Yeah, Sonic Boom. I posted a lot of pictures. QC has sorted out with our own QC was sent over to the GNF factories. They were happy with it, and as far as I know, it's been shipped out.
That's right. It's on the boat. It will be making its way across, and then we can probably look to reopen it again. I guess. Yeah.
In fact, probably over the weekend, I'll post some pictures of the packaging. I've took some pictures of the packaging itself, so I'll post that in the club. So
So all three of you can enjoy it.
So but I mean, it's like my concern is that always Chinese New Year, we might not have some stuff to show you guys. But
well, it's Chinese New Year now, and actually we show quite a lot of our show quite a lot this week. Actually, it's been actually quite a lot of new stuff that we've shown this week, and that's because there's been so much activity, people trying to get it out before Chinese New Year. So there will be a dearth for the next 3 weeks. It is what it is, but that's why we look forward to the launch of SD toys. And oh my god, over there, I cannot begin to tell you just how great and how happy I am with how Alucard is looking. It's just looking absolutely stunning. Yeah, absolutely thrilled that yes, it was at New York. Yes, you've seen it, but there are other things a part of it, and just generally, it's a bit more refined. Chocks, for one thing, it has a fucking hand holding his attached.
Because like back in NYCC when we had the prototype, it was like, damn, this thing came in like 50 million pieces.
Yeah,
head sculpt was in one. The head was in one piece. Then you had the collar in one piece. Then you had the cloak in one piece. Then you had the hands in separate pieces. It's like,
absolutely,
geez, it was a nightmare.
Excuses for not finding that hand. Oh, too many parts. Too many parts.
Well,
this one's much easier. Just put it out.
This one's just easy. It's just like boom, straight away. Yeah.
It's like, oh, put it on.
This one's gonna be easy for you guys to assemble.
Hey Matthew, platinum or bust, as you said. Right. Then, of course, there's a picture. Was it a picture or a video of the Sonic 25th? It was spray paint. Yeah. Anybody got some Infinity? Anybody need Infinity signs? Yeah.
Infinity.
The running shoes. Yeah. So, for sure. And Nana say I made the base that much darker. It wasn't quite black enough, and I made it just that much blacker. So you should be very, very happy. What is up, Wesley? How is Lucy? How is Celine? What is going on, mate? How are things in the Netherlands? Yo, Wesley. Right. Then, of course, we went through what we talked a bit about. We talked about C3, of course, seeing what we saw there. That's pretty straightforward. We talked a bit about Jet Black and that sort of that. And
C3.
It's really nice for our 3D artist. Shout out to Gus. So not 3D, 2D artist. Gus, who worked on the Sith art print to then see his work behind Sith. So he said, do you know if there's a picture of it? I can use my Instagram and go, hold up. Hey guys, anybody got a video? You got a picture of that? And of course, some guy had a picture for us, or for him. It was nice for me to see, of course. The question is, guys, do you give a shit about the art prints? We were actually asking this the other day.
Yeah.
Whenever we see the pictures, this is what I said to Chuckles. I said, people are just showing the product because they're excited. They open it up, they show it. Boom. Thanks, guys. Love it. Great. But the art print, no one seems to show. And why is that? Probably because I believe you have to frame it. You have to then put it up, and it takes a little bit more effort to do so, move stuff around on the wall. And Chuckles like, nah, man, they don't even give a shit about it. So let me know in the comments, do we keep doing these? Do you literally just get them and then throw them away? Do you consider...
Oh, no. They will no way throw it away.
I get they won't throw it away.
They won't throw it because
I understand they won't throw it away. But the point being is, are they kind of like, I'm not throwing it away because it's included, but I don't care about it and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Therefore...
Throw it back in the box.
Or... you know, let us know your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
So we can know whether or not to keep including them or not.
I mean, it's nice to say, yeah, it's awesome, but what do you do with it? And would you want? I mean, obviously, you would say, yeah, I have anything. If
Of course, people would want to have
I
it.
want everything. It's like, I want anything and everything for free, right? But it's sort of like, how would you rank it? Yeah, how would you like? Let's say in the package. Let's say Sif in the package, right? Obviously, in my opinion, you bought the statue because of the statue. You rank the statue first, right?
But of course.
But where would you rank the art print and the ring?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be biased, right? Let's say exclusive version. You get the statue, you get the die-cast sword, you get the ring, and the art print. 4 items. Where would you rank them?
Well,
in order.
You can't really sort of talk about the die-cast swords being anything other than part of the statue, so I don't even count that.
All right, then. Those 3 items, then. The other 3, as in like
the ring,
ring, and art print.
Well, of course, hands down, you're going to go with the ring because it's something physical. You can touch it, you can feel it. Whereas at the end of the day, a print is a print.
Yeah.
It's a poster. It's a print.
Yeah.
It's a great art. But the thing is, you see it everywhere. There can be anywhere you look is a poster, an advertisement, whatever it may be. It's something that you see on the wall. A picture is standard affair. Whereas uniquely, there's a wolf ring, right? It's a unique product that you can't find anywhere. Therefore, of course, you're going to gravitate towards that. But of course, when you look at your product from a distance, your statue, and you can see the exact same art print of the statue directly in front of it, if you take the time to mount it on your walls or to put it behind it, of course, if you don't do that, it means, yes, it's nice to have it, but it doesn't. It's supposed to be an enhancer. It's supposed to be an enhancer. So when you aesthetically view it's supposed to be the comic book covers that people put next to those comic characters that they have, right? That they then put, oh, look, this is the pose of Spider-Man #1. And then they put the comic book cover, they have the comic and they have it nicely graded and shit. And it's like a nice little fucking airtight thing. And they put it next to it and boom, look, the character and the statue. Oh, look, they match. That is what it's supposed to recreate.
I'll put my authentication card next to my
There's
statue.
also the authenticity card as well.
It takes up less space.
There is that as well. It's just an image.
Yeah, it's just a side piece, kind of like, there you go, guys. But you know, like some people do collect art prints, actually, which I totally understand. That's why we put a lot of thought and efforts when we help. Okay, guys, we give it a border because I know you guys want to frame them. You don't want to frame over the actual image. You don't want any other advertisement on it. That's why we try and make that F4F logo subtle. You want you know, it'd be great if it was signed, but hey, but at least we got a number there. You know, like it matches with your statue. I mean, we thought we actually put a lot of effort into that. Actually, thinking about it.
What, the art print?
Yeah, we did.
Of course we did, with the gold, with the silver ring around the thing.
Yeah.
And look, I can see in the comments there are those, it's almost 50-50, like don't even bother looking at it, and then others are like, yeah, it's cool. It's almost like quite 50-50. Yeah, you know, disadvantage of the print is that some might use shelves and they don't fit it, let enough light to make it shine. You know, that's absolutely right as well.
Yeah, that wall with the art print, I could have filled that wall with a proper shelf and slap a real statue on. An F4F statue, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is there any other?
An F4F PVC.
Right.
Yeah. But you know, like, that's why every single person in here each have a unique collection. Everyone collects in different ways. So there's
displays in different ways as well.
There's no right or wrong.
But there is. Absolutely. Look, it's an interesting conversation that Chocks and I had together over dinner, and it was a very quick and sort of very...
What?
You know, it was very kind of like, oh, no one gives a shit about it, versus like, oh, no one ever posts about it. Well,
it's good when we talk stuff like that, stuff like this, because when we do launches and releases, everything, we go back and think, oh, did we do this right? Do you think this is good?
Do people care about it?
Yeah,
do we just do a lot of effort for no reason?
Yeah.
Did we pay 5 and get 20, or did we pay 20 and get 5?
A lot of time, I think we pay 20 and get 5.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
100% agree with you. But that is the point. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
It doesn't kill me.
Does it make you stronger? A lot of people who like prints tend to get ones they like outside of you guys.
That's true. I've seen that as well.
See, an environmental backdrop, that's... So what we did for Spyro, that's an example of us pushing the boundary on that.
Right, sure.
We don't care about it, but thanks for asking.
Who's we? Patrick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All of it very, very interesting. All right, cool.
I'm gonna, after this, I'm gonna go back and watch read all these comments.
See who makes the list.
Everyone's everyone's been posting their their real thoughts. I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. By the way, I'm liking the stream. It's quite.
Is it smooth tonight, guys?
No, we're still jerky. We're still jerky, but it's still at least better than
the jerky boys.
It not being so 30 seconds. That's sort of like 2-3 minutes, which is the worst thing. We equals the whole group. Sweet.
Right, so a lot of this week has been, apart from getting stuff out before Chinese New Year, a lot of the days are spent on Cowboy Bebop, right? And then a lot of other days are spent with regards to Guts.
So, again, you saw all of that movement. Guts is not going to be, if everything goes smoothly, going to be up for pre-order until probably... yeah, can, but can't.
Can and can't.
Can and can't. So, with regards to Guts, yes, we've been doing a lot of work on that, but our own internal schedule doesn't actually have that for pre-order until sort of late March, something like that. And the reason is we don't want it to be too close to Ornstein, is my main issue.
Yeah.
We think there's a lot of crossover between DS and
we want to make it right as well.
I mean, it's pretty much right already.
Yeah.
There's definitely some tweaks that maybe we can tweak after Chinese New Year, but overall, the vast majority of it, it's already 95% there.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, there is some stuff that, if you look at it in the right angle, you can kind of like probably see how we can improve it.
Yeah.
But not like, I would be happy to launch it right now. Take the photos, do that. We can always improve it later on. Of course, we have to let you guys know afterwards. What are the differences between the prototypes? We obviously don't want to be getting up the bottom.
Yeah. Exactly. Got to keep everyone informed.
Absolutely. But of course. And
what's wrong with pink? It's Valentine's. It's Valentine's around the corner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, with regards to Guts, yes, we wanted to just sort of get it out and already before Chinese New Year. And that was really great. I loved being educated about blood. And that was the fact that blood dries dark and it's fresher, newer. Fresher is lighter and have the mix between the gloss and...
Hold on. No, it's not.
Yeah. Having the mixture between gloss and... Is Lorenzo watching this or anything like that? Just in terms of who's going to be flipping the switch, just to ask him, is he around? I'm not being Michael Caine.
How come they haven't hit us up?
Yeah, indeed. So, in terms of the Guts, really happy how that's coming along, and thank you guys for giving us the feedback. And hopefully you can see it's just the kind of influence you guys can have on sort of getting Guts to be just that kind of style that you like. And of course, we have over here the non-bloody version. It's got a few scuffs here and there in terms of, like, when I say scuffs, it's like cut in a few places, but he's not like bleh, loads of blood. He's got a little bit of like lines of blood there. It's not like it's gushing blood. And people will perhaps like that. Perhaps they love the idea, but don't want... I know Guts is inherently bloody, but sometimes it doesn't quite fit your... I don't know. The point is, give the option, let people choose.
I mean, we've read the comments, and
most people, I think, will go for the bloody one.
Yeah, it seems like it. But hey, let's see how it goes, because I know a lot of collectors don't want it. Don't want too gruesome because of they have kids or they have family or whatever it is at home, right? I can totally understand. That's why we're offering two. That's why we're offering the variant, as in like
Absolutely.
bloody and non-bloody. So hey guys.
Oh, there you go, Randy. Now, Randy's a massive anime fan, and he's always been asking about Guts, and he's asking about the exclusive one, so he knows it lights up, all that sort of stuff. So he's been following very closely, and he prefers non-bloody.
Fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's an exactly great example. Yes, he has a little bit of blood. Of course, his mark at the back needs to bleed, because that's inherent. It's integral to his character. But in terms of the sort of dousing and absolute bathing in blood, for example, that right hand that we sort of showed in the raps, would be OTT for those that may have a family that may not appreciate it being too bloody. So
yeah. And like different materials have different effects, as in the blood has different effect on.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite interesting to have a look at that, to see the blood on the arm
blood on
was
metal,
really, really obvious,
yeah.
but the blood on the dark black of the sort of silvery black of the armor doesn't show up as much, but it's there. But if you're looking at it,
and the blood on the bandages, the wraps, the bandage wraps.
super saturated, kind of like a sponge, which would make sense. So is Daddy, what's all that jam on the character? Exactly, Randy. Exactly.
What's up?
No, cool. Just want to make sure that it is the comments coming through. All right, cool. So then, with regards to
you're next.
Well, where are we at? So that was Guts. Looking forward to finally getting that late March. We're looking to try and get that up for PO. The Gamescom. Guten Tag, was ist los?
Yeah, awesome feedback.
Deutschland. We are very likely going to be seeing you guys, giving you a F4F hello, and if everything goes smoothly, a 42 square meter booth. We are licking our wounds from NYCC, learning the mistakes that we made, learning the mistakes that we had when we actually made up the booth. We learned it cost us a shed ton of money to go there with not what we expected, unfortunately. We weren't really sure what we expected, but now we know. For us, it is absolutely key for having PVCs to sell at these shows. So we're going to be going to 2 shows this year if everything goes smoothly. The first will be Anycom in July.
Can we try and do maybe one t-shirt?
T-shirt?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Sell some t-shirts?
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. Selling merchandise is the most important thing to claw some of the cost back. Do I reasonably expect to to cover the costs? I don't think we will. But if you look at NYCC, that was a pure sunk cost. I mean, that was pure, like, we went there and we came back and I was like, oh shit. So with Gamescom and Anycom, so Anycom is in Hong Kong. That's really easy. It's just there. So we're just going to have a very, very small booth, which is literally just going to be, and we find that's going to be quite anime centric. We're just going to have a few anime characters in display case and literally stock behind us to hopefully sell the PVCs. We'll have a few there, of course. Off the top of my head will be Crash, will be Link, will be the 2 DS Dark Souls. Sorry, the SD Dark Souls stuff there. So we'll minimum have 4. If we can do more, we'll push for that. Same thing for Gamescom. Plus, as you said, maybe t-shirts or whatever, anything it may be, etc. So in terms of, we're going to, if we can do that Gamescom and demonstrate that it works, we're gonna be on the road. We'll be on the road. We'll be going to more places if we can demonstrate it. And I'm really, really hoping that Gamescom does well because it's gamers. And the fact that NYCC was more about. Okay, I can't. I'm taking this.
Comic movie, pop culture.
Yeah, I'm taking this.
It's very varied, as in it's like a wide variety.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's very. I'm taking this out the air, but I'm saying let's say 80% of people work for comic books, and the 20% more for video games. I would say, but you expect 100% of people going to Gamescom to at least recognize some of the characters that we have, because it's not like they are. But one more thing that I will say is we will not make the same mistake that we did when we went to NYCC. We showed you all the product way too early. We are still feeling the repercussions of this. NYCC, we showed Guts. Is it up for pre-order? The answer is no. We showed Alucard. Is it up for pre-order? No, it's not. We showed Crystal Dragons up for pre-order. The answer is no. We showed a lot of things that we have still not put up for pre-order. We will never make that same mistake. What, however, would be nice to do is to put stuff that people have never seen before. We're making the assumption that no one knows us. When we go to Gamescom, there will be 300,000 people that do not know us, and therefore, who cares that Majora's Mask has been in the marketplace for 3 days, for 3 months by the time Gamescom comes out? Who cares that Nightmare is on display, bearing in mind that it was already released at the beginning of this year? Who cares that Sif's there, Artorias is there? In terms of, we don't care that it's there. We think it's good because it's for those that have never. The people who will care are F4Fers. But like, yeah, I got that. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't care about that one. I've seen it, and I totally agree with you. What we could do is show stuff that is not released and they've only seen on pictures. So, I'd probably say if we can try and show prototypes of stuff that has been up for pre-order but not in people's hands, I probably wouldn't go for something like Majora's Mask, to be honest with you, because people would have already received it by then. As an example, I'm not 100% sure whether or not we'll have to see what the Spaces situation is. But the point being is, this is to try and get an access to people who don't know who we are. They have no idea that Artorias has ever been made. They have no idea that Majora's Mask has ever been made. They want to walk onto the booth and go, oh my days, where have you guys been all our lives? And I'll be like, dude, we've been here since 2003. Where you been? So that is the point.
Oh, Lorenzo says he's not sure he will be available.
Okay, I'll try and figure it out myself.
Okay.
I'll figure it out myself. So Derek Baker's asking, will there be convention exclusive PVCs? And that is a great question. And we are thinking that yes, there will be event exclusive PVCs available that the only thing would be was something like just nothing too crazy, just like massive, something just maybe just like a sleeve on top of it, just something nice, or maybe even something as simple as a sticker. The point is, we don't know what we're doing right now, and we really need to go and see what the hell is going on. It's really hard to refine it when we've never done it.
Who's we?
You guys, because I ain't going. So you should have waited for EGX, not Comic Con. Oh, he's
talking about UK.
Yeah, he's talking about
UK,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right, exactly. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a video game based.
Eurogamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really excited to see how that goes. So we will dust ourselves off again after NYCC, and we will try it again for Anycom. We will try it again for Gamescom. And Gamescom's going to be 2 to 3 times bigger than NYCC. Because we're going to have stock to sell the PVCs, and we're going to have the displays of the items. And NYCC was way too crammed, in terms of just sort of general walking around and stuff like that. Sure, so that's what the plan is going to be. We hope it will do well, and we hope that we can keep coming back. We shall see. We shall see. All right, cool. Right, moving on. Where are we at, Chocks?
Army life-size bus production has started. That big, massive,
there we go. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, it started, but you have to keep waiting. But it basically means, because that's silver, as we said, the factories can really do 2 at once. Silver's done. So start up Army.
Good.
That's the reason. That's how it's working.
Good.
Then Crystal Dragon, be working a little bit of that. The horns, yellow, gold, the green. Maybe it's a little bit too dark green. I've been looking at that. I've seen comments that it probably should be a little bit brighter. There are some different things. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to submit it. Let's get some comments back from the license or from what Activision's got to say, and then really go from there. But in terms of the effects, I like it. Maybe the colors are not quite right. It's nice to see it translate from the grey.
Yeah, everyone saw the grey and
NYCC. It's nice to go from the grey to the green and see how that goes. That's obviously very, very interesting as well. And before we leave, guts, of course, let us talk a little bit about that black and white version. Shout out to Nanase for that. But, there's a lot of back and forth between the whole idea of doing black and white versus a manga style, Chocks, right?
Right.
Now, you obviously know the vaulted stuff that we've done in the past. That is black and white. It's not... It's done in an ink brush style, right? It's not quite the same as manga. Because it's more like an artist style that we did. So we've obviously done that. It's in the vault and it looks amazing. I show the admins and they're like... Because the admins were like, I'm not convinced it will work. I'm not convinced black and white will work. And I go, you know what, guys? It does work. Check this out. And we showed them that and they were like, okay, you're right. It does look sweet. Now, production-wise, it's a nightmare, for sure. In the end, we vaulted it for other reasons, whatever it may be. But black and white has been done by us in the past. We have made those samples, and I'm confident that we could do it in 4 Guts as well, with some strategic thinking, considering about production. However, the question is, would you do it if it's only going to sell 20 pieces? And that's the hesitation that you had. I would be less hesitant on that. But what I would tell you is we would never make that version at the same time as the launch. Now, this brings us to the conversation that we've been having, right? And this is still an internal conversation that we haven't concluded. We love your input as well. And this would be a great example of how it would be applying 4 Guts manga style, if we could ever do it. Of course, we need to talk to the licensor, if we were even to do it. But we would never release this version now. It would be in the future. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you need to do all the variants, you need to announce them now. Well, sometimes it doesn't make sense because it's too expensive to announce the variants. And I know we go back to the scenario with Darunia, and there was a regular, and then, oh, look, there was an exclusive version. Like, hello, don't ever do that again, you naughty, naughty F4Fers. And that has been 10 years, and I'm thinking about doing it again. But in the way that you guys know about it earlier in advance. So let's talk about Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is a great example. Ornate and exclusive blue, they are the OG launch. Now we talked about the green version. This is what I plan. This is what Chocks and I have sort of discussed. We came to a basic sort of understanding. We haven't concluded it. We'd like to hear your input. As always, it is just as much of an effect for you guys, or it's completely affecting you guys. So we want to hear your feedback to help us shape the policies. Now, with the Shovel Knight green, we would not... Originally, the whole idea was, oh, can we get it dirty for Last Chance Weekend? Stick it together. All of a sudden, you're asking people to triple up. And I think it's kind of hard. Also, I think it's a little bit... It was too rushed. Right, I didn't want to sort of do it again when it was like based on, because we had it originally green, Chocks, as you remember, right? Yeah. We had it green and then we changed it to ornate,
like
right?
Player 1, player 2.
Right,
combo.
we had that before we even went live, right?
Yeah.
And then we went ornate, and then we now saw there was a poll. We ran it. I ran it. At least 100 people we want to see it in green, etc., etc. Now they voted for the green. Now, of course, there were other variants, and there was a nice black one in there, all that sort of stuff. Would have been nice. What I would say is that if we were to release that later, how would... Well, we have to release it later because we're not obviously doing for Last Chance Weekend. Now, what I would say is this. We will release it for pre-order later, but here's the thing. We do not want you to feel obligated to buy it, okay? We don't want you to feel like you have to buy that to keep your number. So yes, it's the second in the line, but it's not really the second in the line. What it is a standalone piece that, very similar to how Praise the Sun Edition works, or any of the super exclusives, what that means is it will have the ability, let's say we release it for pre-order in 2 months time, 3 months time, 4 months time, it doesn't matter when it is. And we simply say, you do not need to buy this if you've already bought exclusive version back in December last year. And now it's Spectre Knight, now it's Plague Knight, whoever it is, now it's Black Knight, whoever it is, the second in the series, right? You do not need to have bought the green version of Shovel Knight in order to keep that number. Even though it's the second in the series, it really isn't. It's a standalone piece. So the numbering system would be very, very simple. If we got 100 orders for green Shovel Knight, and there better be, because you guys voted 100 times, what does that mean? It means that, very similar to how we said Praise the Sun would work. Let's say there are, on the bottom of the Praise the Sun edition, it will say number 500, for example, right? Because that is where you bought your Solaire, and you have the Solaire exclusive is 500. You bought the Jolly combo, right? So you got 500 Solaire exclusive, and you got 500 Praise the Sun, right? But didn't we say that Praise the Sun edition was something like 375 or something like that? Something like whatever it was. Let's say it's I don't know. Say it was 375. On the bottom of the base, we'll say the total number of Praise the Sun editions worldwide is 375. That's what we would do. We'd just simply write that. This number is not 500/375. It's not written like that. It's just a little bit on the bottom left, just for historical sense. It will just say 375 of these pieces were made of Praise the Sun. Now, don't forget, some of them are part of Jolly Combo. Some of them are bought separately. Doesn't matter how they are. It's just the total numbers of this type of product is 375. Oh, Brendan knows exactly what it is. It is 375. So that means that it is, you know, if that means that we would get the, you know, so that would basically mean that you do not have to, yeah, so you could actually collect the same number if you were on, let's say you had number, let's say there's only 100 greens, but you had number 200 of exclusive Shovel Knight, as an example, right? You could still get number 200 written on there, customize that, even despite, and on the bottom is to say, total numbers of green Shovel Knights, 100. Simple as that. So therefore, you can still have your intact number. Now, of course, when it comes to second in the series, well, we don't look at your green Shovel Knight numbers. We just look directly to, did you place an order for the original Shovel Knight? And that, my friends, is how we would want to deal with green Shovel Knight. Let me know what you think about that. Now, how do we apply that logic to Guts manga style? Well, if we were to do a Guts manga style, we wouldn't do it now. We would do it later. Who knows if we could even do it, blah, 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 blah. But the point is the same. We would release that and say, this is no obligations to buy it. It is not the second in the line. It is a variant, and therefore this variant is actually treated in a way that it's not part of the main series. It's a standalone thing. Yes, you can have matching numbers. On the bottom of the base, it will say something else, which will be, okay, there was only 30. There will only be 30 of these mangas made because we only got 30 orders, and Chocks will be like, I told you so. 30 of those.
It'd be like, let's say your original Guts would be version 1, right? And then let's say a couple months or a couple years down the road, it's the same thing but a different variant. That's not going to affect the main numbers on the main line. It'd be like a 1.5 kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
You can still buy the 1.5 version and still keep your same number. But if you're going to buy the next real statue in the main line, it's not going to affect, because
exactly. So when it comes to Skull Knight, which is the second in the series, you do not need to worry about.
It's like branching out. It's like an extension of.
It's an alternate reality.
Yeah, an alternate reality. Yeah.
You know, as Johnny DeHazer said, manga for like the anniversary edition or something. Exactly right. Exactly a great idea.
You know what manga style we're talking about, right? All the lines and stuff.
Okay, let's see what Nana said. I don't think Black and White Scut should be released later. Make it a separate piece, and people will have to keep the number line. Will have to get to keep the number instead of a variant. Huh? I didn't understand that. Try that again, Nana say. I don't think Black and White Guts should be released later. Makes it a separate piece, then people will have to get to keep. No, I just said it doesn't do that. That's the whole point, Nana say. You don't have to get it. That's the point. Yeah. Oh, maybe this is a delayed thing. You do not. That's the point. You do not have to buy it to be the next in the line. It is a variant that is off. It's like a. We'll call it the Star Wars remastered version. You know, whatever. You know, as an example, that was the way that we can deal with that.
Like an expansion pack.
Hey,
jeez, it's like
DLC. There we go.
It's an expansion pack, so you don't have to buy it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's right, Sav. You got it right. So yeah, that means we can do that in the future, and we can come back with variants later on, because we don't want to take the piss. If people get pissed off if you don't know about it earlier, maybe if we can say about it, will be likely that we'll do it in the future. We are sitting here looking at how we're going to deal with the green Shovel Knight.
It could be the same thing, like, I don't know, like the Kirby, right? Let's say the fighter Kirby. You say, hey,
Exactly.
I'll come back and do a dark Kirby, right? Is it called dark Kirby? Well, Shadow Kirby. Sorry, yeah. Shadow Kirby. And it'd be like, hey, you know, previously you could buy it. A couple years later, you want to get that as well. And then if it didn't sell that many, I don't know, like 100 pieces or whatever it is, yeah. And then you can still keep the same number that you bought from the fighter Kirby line, but it's not going to affect Warp Star or the piece after Warp Star, because it's a separate thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's a great example. Would you want to see a fighter Kirby? And Nana say was right as well, also saying, like, you know, the fighter Kirby is a Shadow Kirby would have been a great idea, because he's like angry and stuff, right? And
just keeping options open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, it's a fine line between that and outright re-releases. You know, that's what we don't want.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it is a whole different thing, but it can be quite of a fine balance that some people will immediately see it as one side and others will find it on the others, and it's a cause for contention. We'd have to be very sort of respectful of that, and sort of work with the community and sort of talk about that sort of things. But yes, it's just an example of some of the things that can be done if you apply that logic against those sort of things. So I was just sort of thinking about how that went. Can I get a season pass?
Season pass.
Absolutely.
So that implies we have to tell you exactly what we're doing, because that's how a season pass is, right? Season pass will include how many expansion. Yeah,
I think people will be okay about variants if they know about it when they bought it. If they know about it when it goes time to go live, I think it's okay. It's not okay if you don't plan it 2 years later, 3 years later, and then you go, oh, by the way, here's a variant. Unless there's a huge, you know what I mean?
Well, what happens if, like, say, okay, for example...
Well, look at Fighter Kirby. That's an example
exactly. Let's say Fighter Kirby is, you know, like a new Kirby game came out, right? It's Fighter Kirby, boom, we did a launch for that Fighter Kirby, right? And then, like, 2 years later, Nintendo decided to do, you know, a remastered or whatever, a new update for that same game with a new color variant. Right. And then we'd be go, oh wow, maybe we could use that concept and slot that in as an expansion to the original Fighter Kirby launch.
Yes,
so we can't really tell you in advance.
Yes, I think that's a little bit harder. That's a little bit more of a
not really a re-release.
I know it's definitely, it's 100% not a re-release, but it's a little bit of a money grab, you could potentially say, right?
But we can ask the guys, hey guys, you know, Nintendo decided to do a remaster or an expansion of this Kirby. Would you guys want that one as well? And still keep your number.
Yeah, of course. But it's a little bit, that's when you're going to have fights in the club. Whereas if you come up and say, I know it's hard to always do it in advance, like, oh, the variant, right at the beginning, and I know what they're going to be, and I'm going to let you know at the launch, yes, there's these two, but in the future there might be these ones in the future. We don't know, etc., etc. It's a little bit harder to
let's say, like, you know, like Breath of the Wild, right? So okay, you start off Breath of the Wild, Blue Link, right?
Yeah.
2 years later, all of a sudden there's a new DLC and Link comes in like rainbow colors, right? And they'd be like, I know it sounds like a money grab, right? But hey, if guys say, hey, this rainbow color Link looks awesome, can we get a rainbow color Link? That kind of like part of my original Link.
That's PVC is slightly different. PVC is slightly different because that's more about what's governed by the wholesalers and the distributors. That's more governed by them.
Or maybe we just launch it on our website.
Well, I mean, sure. You know, look, now we're sort of, right, my head hurts.
A lot of thinking tonight.
Yeah, look, see, Alex says, you know, obviously Alex is an OG. He's collects from many, many different guys. If you tell people they will be fine, it's when variants show up out of nowhere a year later that people will lose their minds. Right, exactly. So that's a great example. So, you know, this is a great time to talk about the Shovel Knight numbers. We can tell you now, I have the Shovel Knight numbers for you. Chocks, do you want to write this down?
Yep.
The exclusive version is, let me know in the comments. Exclusive, how many? Let me know. Ornate, how many? Let us know in the comments. What do you think?
Ornate
what
version.
do
talking,
you
yeah?
think? Both. X and Ornate.
X
both have
and
got
ornate, yeah?
both of those information right here, right now. Much appreciated, Mike, for the kind words.
What did Mike say? What's so kind? What did he say?
Wait. Make sure you guys specify if the exclusive is how many and the ornate is how many. So, specify, guys! Yeah, I know that. Yes, I've done that. I've done that. Which is... have I done that? Yes, but that's there. Yeah, that's there. So I have done it, yeah. Alright, so what we got here? Ornate 375 X450. Brenton X is 300, 200 Ornate. 1 million for Patrick. 550 for the X. 575X, 425 Ornate. 1,500 exclusive. X550 Ornate 250. X400 Ornate 325 to Jesus. Cassandra 800X 500 Ornate. 125 Ornate 375X for Kevin. 600X 400 Ornate. 375X 245 Ornate. If you pre-order the original statue, it will come with a code to get your variant statue, an art print, a poster, a production CD, extra points, and a signature card. That's right, Michael.
A production video CD, wow.
No.
A video CD. Do people use video CDs anymore?
A VCD.
Yeah, VCD.
VCD. All right, guys, I'm going to give you the numbers. Thank you for coming back with your numbers. The total numbers for the Ornate Shovel Knight Ornate variant is 200 pieces. The Shovel Knight exclusive, 250. Ornate 200, exclusive 250. What do you think about that, guys? $200 for Ornate, $250 for exclusive. All right, Patrick. $200
like,
Ornate, $250
It just
exclusive.
changed within 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Love it. And then something else.
So, can we just dissect that for a second? Those numbers let's to be very, very clear. The Ornate edition, let's make sure my pronunciation is correct. The edition of the Ornate edition, okay? The edition with A-double-D, the edition of the Ornate version has absolutely saved Shovel Knight from being a catastrophe to a not so much of a catastrophe. Okay. So I find that if we had not made that Ornate version, that is vault material. Very, very close to vault material. Okay. The Ornate combo pack has served a huge boost as a percentage change of the numbers of Shovel Knight. If we did not have that ornate version, I could have said, I would have said that's it. I don't see any more in the series, etc., etc. That's what I would have said. The ornate combo and that has allowed for there to be those extras and those that want to support it, showing us that there are people, and we talked about this again, combo packs for niche lines. Now, Shovel Knight is a great example of a niche product. It's an indie game, etc., etc., and I want to do more of it, but there needs to be the balance of got to get those numbers up, and
it has to get those.
Even
for a combo pack, those numbers has to be high, because don't forget, guys, the combo pack is when combined together,
it's cheaper as well.
Cheaper.
So, is it lower than expected? Well, to be honest with you, we had no idea. But what I can say categorically, the variant made a huge difference. So having the ornate made a huge difference. Now, when we look at the green Chocks, and we look at maybe the future, we do a red, as an example, right? These will really, really, really help. When you're looking at numbers of 200 Chocks and 250, an extra 100 of the green, all of a sudden, now we're talking about, all right, because now you're looking at 450, you're looking at 550. What do we always say, Chocks? We want to see 600, pretty much, right? That's what that's what we're really looking at. 550, 600.
It's more than just the number, right?
Yeah, of course, I understand that. But the reality is, if we just gone X, we would be looking at total numbers of 250. I would have been like, thanks very much, mate. Great knowing you. Great working on that, but it is what it is. The company, the fans have spoken, etc., etc. Right? So to have, for example, another extra greens of 100, 50 of the red, as an example, right? All of a sudden, now you're tickling 500 and you're 550. You're tickling 600. All of a sudden, you know what, Chocks? We're making Plague Knight. You know what, Chocks? We're making Spectre Knight. Right? So.
And this is even like, all this is just talk, right?
This is all just talk.
This is all just talk up until the last day. Hey, guys, cancellations. Not even factor that.
Well, of course. And yes, in theory, Alex, you say 450 as a total, it's not bad. You're correct. But the reality is we will be expecting X amount to cancel, etc., etc. So, if waitlist gets big for Shovel before production, it would be better to add them to the total. No, Tyler, we've got to keep the purity of the waitlist system intact. But usually the waitlists get converted from cancellations. Of course, Fighter Kirby was an example. Of course, Fighter Kirby wouldn't, it's an example where that didn't work. But so who knows? It is what it is. The Ornate Edition absolutely has kept Shovel Knight in that conversation. It's absolutely not going to be voted. It's great that we have these numbers. Are we chomping in the bit to make the Spectre Knight? Are we chomping in the bit to make the any of the other knights? I want to be. And maybe the greens, maybe the reds will help us to get there. What do you guys think about that? Let us know in the comments. The reality is everyone's...
the reality is everyone's gonna say, yeah, make it.
No, but they're not necessarily. That's not. Here's the actual thing, Chocks. The reality is this: most people might actually say, "I don't give a shit. It's your problem," which is fair enough, right? They don't care what their numbers are. They just want their version. They don't care about how many is made and all that sort of stuff.
They'll be like, hey, you lost this here, you win something, you lose it here, you win it here, etc.
Fair enough. But here's the opportunity cost. One of the things about us, and hopefully you guys agree, we are incredibly transparent, and we want to tell you the reasoning behind what we do. No one wants to hear that there's vault material coming up. There's no one wants to hear that about their favorite line, their favorite product, and we don't want to say that.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. We put just as much effort in making that. We put just as much effort, if not more, into Shovel Knight than we did compared to Spyro. But look at the number differences: 1,300 pieces for Spyro. The reality is we spent just as much time making both of those. Right. So, it's just wanted to show you what it's like on our side, just so you have a better idea of some of the decisions that we make. So, when we couple the whole idea of what we're talking about, the green version and the red version, and any other versions of the Shovel Knight, right? Having those versions as a means to top up the total edition size makes it more interesting for us to continue that line. And again, we talk about how you don't need to feel obligated to buy the green, to buy the red, to buy whatever they are, in order to have your number guaranteed for the Spectre Knight, for the Plague Knight. That is the point.
But you all want to collect them.
There you go. Dynamo Armor, Final Guard. There you go. See, look, you know, you got Patrick. He wishes that it did better because, you know, of course, if it does better for us, he knows that there's going to be more product from that line because obviously he's a big Shovel Knight fan, etc., etc.
And then he says what?
Screw
Iker. He says one positive thing, then he goes and jumps and says something negative.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, that's where we're at. Are we finished this week in review or what, Chocks? Are we done that week in review?
No, we haven't.
Oh, Jesus. Well, let's bust through this.
Katamari production video.
Go.
Yeah, so thanks for checking out the Katamari print and dip production video. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys liked the drop test at the end of the video.
Yeah.
Sorry for the spelling mistakes. Thanks for spotting that out. Hopefully we have, as Alex said earlier, that there will be a silver
yeah,
as well. And I made a post with the art boxes for both prints and dip. Hope you guys like that. There will be silver art box coming up and Majora's Mask art box coming up as well. So hopefully, you know, we want to space them out as well. So you know, yeah. So we want to throw everything out at once.
Yeah.
And then you also made earlier on we were talking about Alucard. You updated the sword with extra weathering. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, yep. And custom plates, F4F, blog posts, weekly stats. Now, here's a question about the weekly stats. Should we bob them off? Maybe it's a source of contention. What do you guys think of those weekly member stats? Maybe I should stop posting them.
Yeah,
or maybe
I'm
just
sick of winning those. All right.
Or maybe I should just do it once a month and do the month stat.
Month stat.
Yeah, maybe that's better.
Well, there's a month stat.
Do whatever you want to do, mate.
There's custom timetable.
Do whatever you want, mate. I just choose the last 7 days.
All right. Oh, we'll see.
Let us know what you guys think.
Do you guys look forward to Wednesday? Because that's when you normally
I
post
do it on
Wednesday
Wednesday, yeah.
stats.
Brittany, 25th is looking okay. It's going to be right after Chinese New Year. Going to be able to see quite a lot of them. Go to the factory, visit them, see how they're all going. Let us know what you guys think about that. And of course, we will follow what you guys think. All right, Chocks, you want to hit your Q and you want to hit your
Temptations.
People saying. Jake would dominate the month stats.
Right. Last week's TT. TT 87. Ori and the Blind Forest. Wow. Neck and neck. 217 votes for yes. 214 votes for no. So, wow. Keep it up. Keep it up indeed. And then this week's TT 88, Jade, Beyond Good and Evil. 74 votes for yes and 151 votes for no.
Now, do you remember when we had that meeting with Ubisoft in the office?
Yeah, and then you made a poll afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think Beyond Good and Evil was
second on that list. So that's going to be interesting. Hold on, where is...
What are you looking for? That old poll, yeah? Poll.
No, I'm just looking for the
Q&A. Oh, the Q&A, yeah?
Yeah, but I want to find that Ubisoft one as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice to go back and have a look at that one as well.
Okay, Ubisoft.
And then next week, guys, next week's TT, Ace Combat. Some machinery.
Yeah, so we had 262 for Beyond Good and Evil, and I would have thought the TT gave it a bit more visibility, but only 74. So where is it all at? I do know that Ubisoft is watching that poll like a hawk. Mm-hmm.
Like a hawk.
Like a hawk. Like a hawk.
Yes, Fobney, there will be a hashtag this week.
Let's do it.
But let's talk about last week's hashtag first. Hashtag F4F Jade. Last week, I believe there's 2 winners to announce.
Oh, nice one.
Yep.
We have 2 winners. The first one begins with the letter M. Let me know if you are a person beginning with the letter M. And the other winner is someone beginning with the letter J. MJ. Do we have a Michael Jackson in the house? Yeah, so we've got 2 winners. First one M, second one is J. Fingers crossed that would have made you. Oh, Michael's an M right there. Anybody else? What is up, Ronald? We've got Matthew there that also has an M. Ooh. MJ. Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Michael
Jackson.
Fox.
Yeah. Ah. Oh, Joe Wall is also a J. Look at that. Were you here last week, Joe? Of course you were, mate. Oh, Johnny DeJesus. My first name's Jay, and just DMing me the code. I am a M. Let me let you guys know. Congratulations to Martin John Palmer. Bada bing, bada boom. Congratulations to you. You're going to be hit up for your 500 war points. And last but not least, Jesse Herrera, I should say. Herrera, congratulations. You guys will be contacted by Phil to get your points. This next week's TT, as Chocks said, is Ace Combat. So this week's hashtag is F4F, hashtag F4F Meow, and that's NEOOOW for a chance to win 500 war points.
NEOOOW.
3 O's.
3 O's.
W.
All right.
Yeah. Hashtag F4F Meow NEOOOW for a chance to win 500 war points. So far, 2 lucky winners to be chosen at run. Hey, Jesse's on the stream. Congratulations, mate. Well done. This week's hashtag F4F Meow. There you go. Jake's got it bang on. Perfect.
Oh. Can you pin it?
Yeah.
I don't see it online. It's
Really?
stupid. Yeah. Oh, there it is. It's a bit late.
Okay. It's there.
Check the pin post, guys. You got it wrong, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, you missed an O. Duh. Everyone knows meow has 3 O's in it. There you go. Let's go sort of checking the wording correctly or not, yeah?
Yeah.
Hashtag 3 zeros. Oh, Cassandra, you need 3 zeros in... Sorry, not 3 O's, I should say. Meow, meow. Absolutely. Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. All right, sweet. That's it then, yeah?
That's it.
I'm gonna,
Q&A.
there's not going to be many, right?
There's quite a lot.
Oh, what? Already an hour and a half from the week in review. That's a bit not normal.
We kind of went deep this week.
Deep. Oh, looking at the wrong thing. All right, let's bang on. South Cantor's kicking off this week's Q&A. How is Skull Knight coming along? It is looking tight. We've already finalized it pretty much. Is there a pose for the Berserker? Yes, there is. And oh my god, that looks even super tight. Can I have LEDs for the Berserker helmet? Praise the sun. Yes, you can absolutely have the... You can have the LEDs in the Berserker armor. You can have the Praise the Sun edition SD Solaire. And... everybody likes a bit of boobs. Aiden Wood, have you been to Australia? I have been. Have you been before, Chocks? I have been to Sydney and Melbourne and Adelaide. many years ago. I remember going to my dad, Daddy, look, I really want these inline skate things, right? Yeah. And Dad was like, dude, you're never gonna use them. Like, no, I will, Dad. So he lugged it literally across all of Australia. Did I use it? Fuck no, did I ever use it?
I think it was right.
You were absolutely right. Alessio Bucci, are statues in clear resin hollow or are they full solid resin? They are full solid resin. Austin, depending on what it is, but generally it's solid. Austin Paul, can I get that Samurai Pine Sneak and Jack Apple? Rally the fans, get that. Let me see that Samurai Jack at 1K. Jake Mayer, how many languages can you speak? I can speak 2, Chocks. You can speak 2 as well. Did you ever send that email to the MHA licensor? Chocks, remind me to on Monday. Pascal Michaud, how many pre-orders for Soul Calibur do you think will go up this year? Maybe 1. There's a lot of backlog that we still haven't got through. We still got NYCC to get through. Angela La, what are you doing for Chinese New Year? I believe we're actually launching Artorias SD. It's the year of the dog. Can we please get Okami PVC and Shiranui sneaks peeks this year? Yeah. No. Yeah. No. What? Joe Patterson, how's my boy Phoenix Wright doing? You promised a new sneak 6 months ago. Any chance we can get one soon? Is he still planned for 2018? What was that? What were you saying, Chocks? We will push hard on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll push hard on that.
Objection.
John, you will there be more die-cast weapons in the future? Is it expensive to do? The answer is yes, it's more expensive to do. Will there be more in the future? Yes, there will be. Hey guys, so let's talk back on White Nana Say edition cuts. Now you've said it's been voted for late.
He went back and, went back and edited
now you
it.
said it's been voted for later use. Will I still get credit for suggesting and rallying for it if it eventually comes out of the vote later on as an optional variant? No, I didn't say that we've done one for guts, to be clear. I'm saying that we've done them in the past. And that's what I'm saying. On a different statue, or statues, I should say. And the answer is...
no.
The answer is, hey, we always appreciate those that rally and get people to rally around that. So, you know, obviously it's really cool to see that happen and see you taking the charge on that. You know, so that has to be respected for sure. Alessio Bucci, what does the edition size written on the bottom of the base mean? Is it represent the total orders you receive, or is it just maximum produced? Let's say you got 1067 orders. How does the edition size work? Do you round it up to 1,000? Yeah, we round it up to a certain amount. I mean, nothing crazy. I think if it was 1067, we would go 1100. But the answer is we never even make that number. We reduce it by 30%. That's what we used to do, and that's what we did. Maybe not quite 30%, but for Fighter Kirby, we made a mistake with that. And wait, you produce 750 to 800 edition size. That's absolutely right. Or the number under the base 800 is because you already considered the cancellation. No, the answer to that is it is the number that we announce. Like today, I just said to you 250 for the exclusive Shovel Knight, 200 for the ornate one. That will be what is written on the base, regardless of the fact that we will underproduce that. Steve Andrew Miller, would you do a statue with a smaller edition size for a bit more money? Need Claymore in my life. Stephen was the guy who was like, I'm not going to buy the Majora's Mask because too many bought it, and I appreciate that. We don't. It's really hard to do that, to say we don't think this is going to sell well, and therefore we're going to charge you really high. We try to lower the price as low as we can to attract more orders. It's kind of like counterintuitive to push it high and expect to sell low. That's the difficulty on that. So the answer is, it's not really crossed my mind. Jamil, how much money do you want for a little update on that FD Vol 2 pose?
Volume 2.
Yeah.
Volume 2, yeah.
The answer is, yeah, I would definitely go with something. If that was ever to happen, I would probably go with something just a bit more exciting. Martin Chavez, are you guys accepting t-shirt designs? Absolutely. God, I forgot about all of that. Need to get back on that. Are you guys really thinking about doing a second version of FDL Link? Yep, because you guys rallied for it. I wasn't thinking about it before. For exclusive Majora's Mask statue, the people in the USA are going to have to wait till Chinese New Year. So can we expect some during March or April? It will leave the factory early March. You need a month for shipping, so the answer is April. Tyler Scott, Tyler Scott, Lennon, how's the Nito prototype coming along, and was it ever discussed about how Majestic Cloak will be made? And the answer is, it is still in 3D. We haven't bit the bullet. Chocks says make it bigger. I'm a little bit concerned because it's already, at this stage, too deep. It's already deeper than Ornstein. If I make it bigger, it's going to be even deeper, and I'm a little bit concerned about that, Chocks. Maybe I'll do it a little bit, but not too much more. The cloak has to be made in real cloak. Martin Chavez, are you planning to do a second window pre-order for Akko, and Spyro? The answer is no, because Last Chance Weekends did not exist for Spyro, and if it did, it would have already gone, and Akko did and has, and it's gone. What is up? Brandon Evans, Dennis Kip is now asking you, Chocks, this week, are you happy?
This week just says, am I happy?
Is Chocks happy?
I'm happy now.
Why are you happy now?
I
thought you were never happy.
I'm happy.
Oh, you're happy.
I'm happy. I had my Red Bull. I'm happy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I had my Red Bull.
Absolutely. David, number 1. Solid Snake had the most SKUs ever for an F4F statue with 7 SKUs. Can you talk about the challenges it goes with the process of having each SKU? I heard Andreas go, can we not do these again? Because it is quite a logistical nightmare. But that is what my team needs to deal with, and they're going to do a great job doing with that. Number 2. Now that Prince and Dip are rolling onto a boat, are there any future plans for the Katamari that you're working on? The answer is no. Number 3. Jet Black tends to be the grumpiest member of the Cowboy Bebop crew. Did you always intend for his head sculpt to be smiling? Or was it intent for the whole screw to be smiling? The answer is, it's more of a smirk. It's more of a, it's not really supposed to be it's a bit more neutral rather than like he's like talking or anything like that. 4. For Alex, pretend tragedy struck and you were outbid for the F4F license plate, but you still definitely wanted a custom plate. What's your next choice? Well, F4F 001 until Chocks ruined that, because you can't unsee it now. It now will say F4F, well, full, basically. F for full. It would have been 001. I can't unsee it now, so I would probably go for F4F, then 1. Although, because to know that somebody else has F4F and then just F4F 1 would have been a little bit.
I know. You're like, it's still second choice. Yeah.
I, capital I, space, F4F, space, I.
Can do.
Of course you can. We saw it today.
Yeah. Well, it didn't say F4F. It said.
You best believe it then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one option.
Yeah. Joe Wall, just wanted to stop by and make sure you packed my correct MM in the box. I did, mate. I know you went for... I know you said to me that you really, really don't want the OG mask. So I said, okay, I will put that to the side. And I gave you the NG mask. Colin Matthew Walchick, I'm going to ask about Claymore Guts pre-orders again, but not right now. Perhaps you put pineapples on your pizza or not. I'm happy to have pineapple on my pizza. I do not mind a Hawaiian. I'm okay with it. Chocks, you're also right with it as well.
Yeah, I'm alright with pineapple on pizza. I
Yeah.
thought you didn't like it.
No, I didn't say I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I just said it was very, very, a lot of people had very, very mixed feelings on that. Ronald Jacobs, are you guys planning to make more colours of Yoshi? If so, what colours? What colours would you like to see? RTF. There are definitely some plans of having that, though. Hello, guys. Question for Alex. Have you ever caused trouble while shooting for behind the scenes, bumping into someone or wrecking some bases, for example? No. I've been actually pretty good. Like a fly on the wall. Except for the workers are like, who the hell is this white boy like over my shoulder? And then all of a sudden I bust out some Chinese like, oh yeah, shit, yeah, I'm doing it right. Have you heard of our Lord Guts Nana Say Noir edition? I have heard. You said, have you heard of our Lord and Saviour? Wesley Clark. Now Shadow of the Colossus remake is out. How about one of the 16 Colossi? You can do a poll 1-to-1 scale. That would be amazing to do that. There's a story about that, but maybe in a few years' time. Denise Kip, can we request a transfer reward points to another account? The answer is, it needs to be absolutely like, we're talking like birth certificates. We're talking like absolute scrutiny for any transfer of points between different accounts. We're talking like, we want to see you jumping up and down together. We want to see you doing this. We want to see you do that. We want to prove you do that. We want to see your passports. We want to see your birth certificates. We want to see you doing this. We want to see you doing that. Otherwise, absolutely no transfer of points. The answer has to be super proven that you're related. Something like that. Jake Mayer, Nanase brought up an interesting idea with Guts, suggesting black and white edition. In the future, we consider doing manga version of anime characters, not necessarily black and white, but the sort of paper colors that you see mostly in manga. The answer is, not only have we considered it, we've got some versions of it. Zach Bound, Venom statue collectible when, Venom snake collectible when and how much we collect. We're concentrating on OG. MGS, Randy Durans, what do you do with the remainder of spare statues when everyone has theirs and the 30-day warm period has expired? We give them out as samples. Randy Gerards, have you ever thought about sending a statue into space for all eternity? Shout out to Elon Musk. The answer is, I have not thought about that. But what would we send out there? Troy Blair. Probably the R-Wing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Yeah.
R-Wing, yeah.
All the gunships.
Yeah.
Well, the Metro gunships. Those are pretty the obvious ones. Troy Blair, how did you know statue making was the right career choice for you? Was it the art, the business opportunity, or was it the sculpting, etc.? It fell into my lap and I ran with it. And I didn't know if I was going to be any good with it. It's the only thing I've ever done from university. So, I don't know. I think I'm a very logical person. I can't remember if I can't remember not doing this. And I can't remember what my personality was like when I wasn't doing this. I do know that I've become hella more aggressive since doing this. You have to be, otherwise, when I was, oh nice, oh yes, I'm a university student. Oh please, Mr. Factory Man, make my statue just like I made it. They went, oh yeah, baby, one of those guys. He was born yesterday. And since then, being in China, just the general nature of being in China, where sometimes the most simple thing becomes an absolute, you can't believe it. Some of the ways that it kind of gets it goes different ways. China is amazing in certain different ways. One is just it's kind of, you can do things that you definitely can't do in the West. Just opportunities, just simply by being a foreigner. You can go and experience stuff that you would never experience if you were just somewhere. Maybe it's different now as China gets more and more affluent, etc., etc. But back then, when I was 19, it was the most amazing experience. But of course, it also came. But when I started doing business here, when I was sort of 20, 23, that sort of age, it was really, really frustrating because now it's dealing with your own money. And when you in the West, you promise A, you get A, whereas it was totally not like that in China. And I had to become amazingly aggressive very, very quickly and apply that into my personality, and likewise that sort of kept with me even though now I'm in Hong Kong. I think I've calmed down a lot, but I still have to have those moments where if I see it's veering off track, so in terms of I'm just really grateful that I could be doing this. It's not about the art, it's not about the business, it's not about the the career choice, it's not about the sculpting, it's about all of that together. And how do I refine this to make this happen, to make that happen, to ultimately build a better business? It's actually fine-tuning that. And I just love that process. Absolutely love that process. All right, we have some shout-outs. We're going to shout out to Monica I
think you missed one out.
What?
Troy.
I thought I just answered. Because he double-troyed me. He double-troyed me,
right.
yeah. We know that Breath of the Wild is the main topic for Nintendo and your statues, but how long do you expect it before you can revisit others in the Legend of Zelda timeline? I think once we get further down, until we start getting to the next stage of Ride a Link, all that sort of stuff, there's no even point.
Yeah.
Because once we're at the physical stage, then we can start looking at the new stuff. We're not there yet. That's the point. Monica, shout out to Monica Hostetler. Shout out to you, Angela La. Amanda Kirby, how's it going? Shout out to Alex Hughes, loving the Okami. Billy Ogle, bada bing, bada boom to you. Lydia Bordini, back at it again with the blue hearts. Anupam Chopra, how's it going, mate? Yo to you. To Sarahid Juarez, how's it going? Frederick Harris, what is going on? Lisa Wyckoff, bada bing, bada boom. Shout outs done. Anupam Chopra with various suit summons. What was Alex's reasoning for keeping the arm cannon even the large clamor to change the beam configuration to a more shorter cannon? Hey, that looks amazing with all the extra lights, baby. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Kevin Daughtry, Alex, have you ever considered laser eye surgery? I had it done a few years ago and it was amazing. You know what? Absolutely, and every single time I go to that Dead Space scene The problem I have is if you could say, mate, general anesthetic, I'm there. Like you won't believe. Local anesthetic, opening my eyes up, pressure on your eye, don't move it. I'm like, because you got to keep your eyes open. I'm like, you can't get me. You can't get me. I'm like, oh, jeez. I'm also concerned about the long, am I concerned the long term? Because, of course, this is a 25-year process. What happens after 26 years? Does everyone go blind? Do you know what I mean? Because it's not happened yet. The answer to that is I would really love to do it. Convince me that I won't absolutely I won't piss myself and shit myself. Because that's how I envisage that process going. I would like to hear your feedback on that. Tabitha Martin, if you were to get the Persona 5 license, which character do you think you would look forward to making the most? Joker. I'm not calling you a Joker. Joker. Anthony Lizard, Tails holding Sonic diorama advancing nicely. Yes, it is. Aside from FDL2, what other statues have you thought about doing 2 versions of? OGOOT. 3 classic Sonic dioramas. More classic Sonic dioramas. I love them so much. We're doing a great job. I mean, without, but loving what we're doing with regards to the follow-up to 25th. And that is, of course, Sonic and Tails diorama. Enjoying that a lot. Adriano Della Riva, Didi, James Bennington, any chance we can see the updated lights on Amaterasu? What updated lights? Sorry, the bust. The answer is, sorry, mate. After Chinese New Year, remind me to take a video at the warehouse. Number 3, how is Shiranui looking? How bad is it going to hurt our wallets? It's going to be much more expensive than Ami. She is way harder. He is way harder. It is way harder than, last time I said it was a he, she, I got bashed. So it was a he, and then I got bashed again. So I called it it. With Silver and M&M going to shipping and any so close, any ETA on Ami, and 25th could ship out. 25th will be much quicker than Ami. It's the same factory, so 25th then Ami. Also surprised you guys can make me like the Guts statue. I wasn't even impressed at first. Now I am. Kudos to your dev team. Much appreciated, James. Really appreciate that. That's a great thing to hear, and I appreciate that a lot. Justin Slice, at what stage is your At what stage is your pre-order numbered? For instance, if I register Ornstein, will it be in time for Mimic to share the number? Oh, yeah. On the opposite side, if my Sif waitlist converts, will it spoil my low number for Ornstein? Should you hold off authenticating in that instance? Great answer, great question. Yes, if you get a really low number. But here's the point. You don't know who has registered Ornstein. Sorry, registered Sif. And therefore, you don't have a chance of having, even though you were there right at the very first second for Ornstein, there's no guarantee you have a low number if you make the assumption that you were number 500. And all 500 people bought Ornstein, and they also bought Sif. Then you don't, doesn't matter that you were the first person there, you would get 501. Now, of course, if the waitlist that you convert, you could be a lucky waitlist conversion on Sif. And it could be number 30. We've had it before when people get really low numbers. What was it? Was it Brendan? Was it Brendan or Ryan picked up with the Saitama number 7? That was a 0-hour conversion, number 7. Yeah. Waitlist conversion. Bada bing, bada boom. Sarah Arrington, when will you guys feel set enough in your operations to compete with the big fish? It would be nice to see some smaller, more obscure lines get attention. It might get your competition interested as well, since they seem to be following your lead on the gaming front. There are some amazing titles out there that just do not get the same proper exposure when they were new, which is a shame. Totally agree, but as we said, look at what happened with Shovel Knight, and that has been saved by the fact that we have those variants, and maybe that's how you consider the other ones. In terms of others following our lead, I haven't really sort of looked into that. That's fantastic if they are. I don't really know anything about that. We we are never going to be big enough to compete with the big fishes. We are just small potatoes. We continue to be small potatoes. We have to keep it real. Otherwise, we are not. Why do you want to join us?
Not me. What got that?
Well, I booted it out for someone else. Why did she need to have it?
Put her out.
I booted her out because I need to give it for man.
I don't know why. I just received that.
Alright, don't worry. I'll speak to her. So the answer is keeping it real, keeping the finger on the pulse means we will never be big potatoes. Big potatoes means corporate. Later, yo, not interested. Don't care about the community. Not interested anymore. That's the time. That's big potatoes. I don't care anymore because we're too big. We don't care what your opinion is. We don't care what you do. We don't care if you buy. We don't care if you buy. We don't care if you don't buy. Obviously obviously you want to buy. I mean, obviously the business owner will want you to buy, but if you're at that stage where you don't feel like you need to, that people will buy regardless of what you do, which is what most. I mean, not get me wrong. That's the normal way of things, right? The CEO doesn't normally get involved, right? So this sort of hands-on approach really keeps us grounded and will keep us small accordingly. Would you say, Chocks? Would you agree?
Well, as you get bigger, sometimes it's hard to. The way I see it is, if it's big potatoes, sure, that's one way of looking at it, right? Like, once you're up there, you leave that stuff trickle down and let somebody else sort it out, right? But at the same time, you could always still look at it where you can still get your hands involved in it, maybe just not as much as and not as often as a small potato, right?
Sure. Well, then you're getting bigger. Bigger potatoes.
You're getting bigger in that way, but you just have your time is less in that area because your time is spread out much more.
Yeah. I think it will be. When will you guys feel? When will we feel that? When do you think we can say that we're not so tiny potatoes anymore? What is the key milestone that has to be hit to feel that? The key factors that would have to happen.
We'll let you know when we feel it. Yeah, you suddenly just feel it, right?
Yeah, I feel like we're not even anywhere close to it. To be honest with you,
it's not even. You don't
like, even think about it.
We say this, we joke this. Yeah, it's small potato. But we don't think about it every day. We're just thinking shit to what we're gonna do tomorrow.
The only thing I think
we're gonna do tomorrow.
The only thing we don't have time to think about that. Yeah, the only time I had thinking about potatoes when I saw you wolf down 2 large McDonald's fries. That's the only time I was thinking about potatoes.
Oh, well, you think too much.
Randy Draz, if I get Majora's Mask after Guts PO has started, can I then use the converted points at a later stage of a Guts payment? The answer is no, you cannot do that. The system does not work like that. You can only redeem it at the point that you place your order. Craig Pazante Guts is getting close. Is there any way that you can fix his hand wrap? It's supposed to be wrapped like a fighter. Seen it, agreed. We will sort it, but not before the launch.
Hey Philippe, thanks for joining. Are there F4F shares or just privately financed? You guys aren't small. Back when you could do edition size of 200, that was small. 200?
Derek, mate, tell me what number you've got of OOT Link. He remembers them glory days.
Yeah.
We are totally small. Or we feel it's not about size, it's about feeling, I think.
Yeah. It's not about how many.
Hey Philippe. Yeah, absolutely. Callum Hall, are there F4F shares or just privately financed? The answer is all companies have shares. Are the shares publicly traded or not? The answer is no, because if they were publicly traded, we would have to show you all the financial information, then you'll see just how small potatoes we are.
Are there any statue companies that's publicly traded?
No, they're all like toy companies, Mattel, Hasbro, that sort of stuff. Jack Pacific.
Maybe they feel themselves as small potatoes. So, because there's always going to be someone bigger.
You think you're rich, but there's always going to be someone richer. You think you're poor, there's always going to be someone poorer than you. So when do you think is enough? Right? You know what I'm saying? You think you're big, but hey, there's someone bigger.
No, it's not really about that. I'm not sure it's necessarily how you are in relation to other people.
Yeah, but that's one way. That's one way of looking at it as well.
Well, no, you could just simply say it doesn't matter. Like, for example, as an example, you say the threshold of being small potatoes is anything under, I don't know, 10,000.
Yeah, but like,
whatever.
Your
Something like that.
small potato.
It doesn't matter that
someone else's small potato is different, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. See, Derek Baker, the glory days are number 2. We are totally not medium-sized potatoes. Super teeny tiny. Super teeny tiny. Super teeny tiny.
Super size me.
Kirk Griswold. If there was any anime series that you could do without the fans in mind, what would it be? Have you ever thought about making a life-size Triforce and after the life-size Majora's Mask is made? Oh, have you ever making life-size Triforce after life-size Mask? Okay, so the answer is anime series you could do without fans
There was
in mind.
Guys.
Usually Prison Break, or what was it? Prison School.
Prison school.
Well, we're very fortunate to be. Oh,
No.
well, no, easy. Anime series. If this is, I mean, the one I would want to do the most is Mononoke. But that's more like a film. Does that count? Triforce. Nope, I haven't really thought about that. Cedric Bardo, I'm back. I know you missed me. We most certainly did. Will the Yukaza line be its own thing or be part of the Sega All-Stars line? It'll probably be part of the All-Stars line. You know, would you want to see more stuff from there? Would you want to see more stuff from the Yakuza line?
Yeah,
don't know.
They want, you know,
Maybe we'd have to run in
usually
fans
the
to see
main,
that, yeah.
It's usually the main bad guy.
Yeah. Do you know you can get Dark Souls 3 and Ashes of Arendelle DLC for just $12 and it's legal? Go check out Humble Monthly. Okay, cool. Number 3, is there something you wouldn't do? Not because of license or low demand, but because you just don't like it, like titties.
Something that you wouldn't do.
Like, how low would I go?
Yeah.
How low?
Something
Graphic pornography statue resonance with scratch and sniff.
Scratch and sniff. Oh my god.
Hey, he's asking how low I'll go. I'm saying I'll still do that. I haven't really thought about it.
You just created a new genre there.
There you go.
Scratch and sniff.
So like rape
So that's
horse,
one
for
time
example.
use as one time use only then.
Like rape horse. Graphic violence. But Guts is already sort of graphic violence. But he's not attacking something that's being like mashed up on the floor, right? And there's blood and blah. Yeah, you know, obviously I think it's probably it depends if it's done tastefully. Or would I say immediately I wouldn't do nudity? Well, the answer is I would.
Yeah.
But it had to be done tastefully. You know. As an, I don't know. Yeah. So the answer is, I'll do it all. Is there a line that you won't cross, i.e. NSF, NSW, WF? And I think, you know, not safe for work. I think the answer is, if it's tastefully done, I think it's okay. Oh, there you go. Do you like horse? Can you guess my next question was right? So that's what he's talking about. I knew. You know, rape horse isn't a good example of that. Yeah, so there you go. Brendan Rastello, any updates on the additional size for Shovel Knights? Morgan, have we not done Morgan yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, shit. Remind me tomorrow. And Stealth OG Snake. All right, remind me tomorrow. Remind me next week. We have 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Elijah Williams, what's the most obscure game you would love to make a statue for? To the moon. Brenton Freedley, we want to see a picture of art box and overall shipper box size. Yeah, we can. That will be followed up. If I post the first picture of a wild can you send me an extra day 1 sticker and card? If I post a picture of a wild, the first picture of a wild can I? Did you not get a day 1er, Brenton? Were you not a day 1er? Just put it in the comments.
Could you send me an extra?
Oh, extra.
An extra day 1 card and sticker. Double dip.
How about you? If I post the first picture of the first wild Okay, sure. Elliot Robert, do you feel gong xi fa cai or gong hei fa cui? I am all about the gong xi fa cai. I'm all about that. Chocks is all about the
other one.
He's all about the wrong one.
The traditional one.
I have 1.3 billion people that disagree with you.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Don't care?
I don't care. Stephen Banjo Miller want to know if Alex classes himself as a collector or a designer. I class myself as a designer.
Why not both?
Yeah, if I had to class myself as a designer. But I find it, I'm so involved in all aspects of it that design is just only one part of it. Really is just one part of it. Yes, it's a very important part, but just as the other parts are just also important. So the answer is, but if you're going to say between the two, I'm a designer rather than the collector because it's my job. Whereas collecting would be more to do with like hobbies and stuff rather than the actual job.
Collect custom plates.
When you, yeah, right, exactly. You don't define yourself as, you define yourself by work rather than what you collect or what your hobbies are, right?
Could be a debt collector. I collect money.
When was the last time you unboxed one of your old school statues? Lincoln Opponent just looked at it and went, whoa, I made that. I don't need to unbox it and see it. When I see people's collections, I'm always in awe when I see them. I always feel so proud. And
it's probably when you're up in your attic, right? This stuff needs to be
what does that for?
thrown away.
Do you own any statues that are not F4F? And if yes, which ones? And if not, what would you pick up? The answer is I'm going to... Is there a censor button on this? Well, the answer is to this is... Did you get that? I believe it might have gone off. There's something wrong with the mic, but I certainly gave all that information just then. Brian Christie knows, okay, have we convinced you enough to make Ica? Nope. Arnold, Hagen, Alex, what's up today, man? Yo, Arnold, how's it going, mate? I've got 4 questions for you. One is, why is this stream spiking lately? I don't know why it is. I really don't know. It's super annoying. There's a freeze delay between frames for a few. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree it's annoying. I don't know how to fix it. I've been trying to figure it out. I tried updating my graphics card. I tried getting rid of all of my so it's just a single thing doing it. I have zero idea. It was totally fine before. I really don't know. I tried even cleaning my case in case it was dust and it was getting overheated. I do not know. Is it if it's my video thing? I don't think it is because even when I play videos and stream videos, it crashes. So, I mean, not crashes, it sort of jerks as well. So, I do not know what it is. Number 2, how about a super combo pack of Mario riding Yoshi, which includes Mario riding Peach? That is a fantastic question. It follows up about how far would I go? I think I just found it. Number 3, how do you plan on testing the X base of Guts' durability? Any special activities planned for the notorious purple dildo? That is, again, a new low. A low right there. Number 4, how is Bowser's upgraded flame lighting coming along? Will you show us some upgraded pictures of the upgrades? I'm looking forward to being more realistic. I think, what did we say? We're going to just change it to more yellow and red. So it was white. It was too white. So we're going to make it...
The flames.
Yeah, it was going to make it more like reds and oranges. Yeah, that was all.
Orange,
yeah. The answer was nope, has not been done yet. Flo, hey guys, have you already bought a statue from another company? Have you already bought a statue from another one company? Chocks has bought plenty of them. Speaking like someone else as the boss of F4F, which statue you think looks the best out of yours? Speaking like someone else as the boss of F4F. So speaking like someone else is the boss of F4F, which statue you think looks the best out of yours? Basically, what's favorite F4F? They all look amazing, except for that one, and that one, and that one. Oh, I'll change that one. Oh, and that one there. Number 3, what kind of TV shows you like? What kind of TV shows you like out of Better Call Saul, Westworld, Big Bang Theory, or How I Met And what about you, Chocks? Okay, I can tell you categorically, The Big Bang Theory super pissed me off the other day. Let me explain to you why. First of all, that show has been dead for the last 4 seasons, and I'm like beating a massive dead horse. I can remember distinctly being it way better back in the day. But what super pisses me off, that every fucking time they go into that comic book store, there's never a fucking F4F. And to make it even more embarrassing, there is a motherfucking one-to-one statue, one-to-one collectible statue, i.e. the guy who basically had to, you know,
Which statue?
a Halo bust, half scale in there. I'm like, are you serious right now? When I saw that, so right there, you know, I'm just like, after all these years. How I Met Your Mother is quite frankly one of the best comedy, one of those tile things I've ever seen. I absolutely love the planning of how the first season and the last season, and they all sort of, how these in-jokes are amazingly intricate and weaves all together. Absolutely love that. I have not had a chance to watch Westworld. That is on my list of things to do. Better Call Saul. I love it. I love, you know, I'm currently watching it right now. Yes, I am. And I really enjoy it. Obviously, I was a massive fan of Breaking Bad. Yeah. And I will say that with regards to what I'm currently watching on my tab is something called Billions. And I like that because I like a little bit about the stock trading and SEC. And I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, no. Billions. Yeah, so it was just a random thing. And I just make the assumption that it is. But I love to dabble in stock trading. I do it myself. So reading that, so watching that, I enjoy that. Chocks.
Well, out of that list,
yeah,
I haven't really touched How I Met or Westworld. It's been a long time since I watched Big Bang Theory, so I'm not sure what season, what's happened to Penny or all them lot. Yeah, Better Call Saul. Watched the first season, then I haven't really caught anything after that. Because I did really enjoy the Breaking Bad. You know, I do watch other.
Did you say you have watched Better Call Saul?
Yeah, I did like the first season. But
it's now third season.
Yeah, I haven't like continued. Because I've been watching something else, you know, like Game of Thrones or Walking Dead and all the other stuff. But lately, I've been watching some of the stuff on Netflix as well. It's quite interesting, like some one-off films, and then a couple of just catching up on some of the other like Stranger Things and just like catching up on some of the old stuff. Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother. Honestly, it's just amazing.
There's just too many stuff to watch.
I know.
It really is too much stuff to watch. It's impossible.
Agree, and it's really funny because my old man is retired now, right? Yeah. And if you think about back in the day, all people that retired used to be like committed to a life of fucking misery by watching. Not crosswords, daytime bollocks TV, and it'd be shit like Catch in the Attic or
Blockbusters.
no, Blockbusters in the evening. We're talking about daytime bollocks TV, which is Cash in the Attic. You know, like
Top, Middle, Bottom.
No, that's like evening shows. I'm talking about like really like mind-numbing daytime TV, right? We're talking like Cash in the Attic. We're talking things like you know, those sort of like gardening shows or you know, just really desperate daytime TV. And that sends you into a stupor. You got your Alzheimer's, you're done, mate. Nowadays, with the internet, all that sort of stuff, Netflix, my dad is like constantly telling me, you should watch this, you watch that, you should watch this, you watch that, because he has access to watch all of these amazing, now that he's retired, all these amazing shows. And it's not just the UK shit, it's all American, it's, you know, Danish, it's all this sort of stuff. You know, when I was watching Borgen, Danish stuff, you know, seeing
Korean drama, Japanese drama, and,
there you go.
And that's not like even counting playing games or anything like that.
Exactly. So you do not need to worry about that sort of stuff
anymore. Anime as well.
Yeah. All right, cool. Nathan Juriez, what is the difference between a resin and PVC statues? Oh shit, it's quite a late one right now. I don't know how much I can go into it. Well, the difference between resin and PVC is the way that it's made. You cannot make a PVC. You cannot make a resin by the same methods that you make the PVC, and therefore they're very suited to very different purposes. Aesthetically, you can look at them from afar. You could probably see that they look quite similar, but there's a very different in terms of the weight and the feel, the fragility, which makes it more appreciating the product when it's all done by hand and knowing that it's done by hand. So, yeah. What makes you choose one material over another when you make the statue? And the answer to that is all about how many you can sell. PVC is fantastic if you can sell a huge number because the time it takes to make it, the quantity and the quality control is very easy to control it to a certain extent in PVC because there are lots of tools that can help you, tempo printing machines, spray masks. Resins, It's a much slower process, but you do not need to. You have the ability to make, you know, much smaller numbers, like i.e. 150 Fighter Kirby's. There's no way you could do that with a PVC because the molds are super expensive for making a PVC, whereas they are, as a percentage of the overall cost, incredibly low for making a silicone mold for resin. Randy Gerard's the top of Skull Kid's hat is made of metal, and I think it suits it well. Are there any pieces that have non-resin parts in it? Tons of pieces that have non-resin parts. If you talk about, like, look at Sif Space and the the metal die-cast swords, there's tons of that sort of stuff. Even going back to the original Meluku from Magic the Gathering has a metal hand because it was problems with the fingers breaking. So Skull Kid again was another example of, originally, if you look at the original prototype, that was made of resin, and every single time it popped. So that is the reason why stuck in a metal piece there. Do you think that it's because you sneak stuff early on that other statue companies see it too and think, hey, this looks like there's a market for this, let's make this well and try to beat you to it?
Anything's possible out there. Every single time we post something, anything can happen.
I'll be flattered if people are watching what we do, but hey, if that's what they're doing, that's cool. You know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We just try and do our own thing. We get on with our own way. Junior Guzman, hello. One question: is it possible to receive email reminders of FlexiPay payments before they're charged? I have several POs and sometimes new truck or what needs to be paid and when. We do, don't we? Or we don't?
I don't think so.
Because it's kind of like it's in your...
Because we added the breakdown on your account settings. You could just go to your account and just check those dates.
There's no way we can do that manually, and it's still automated. We take the money manually, but we don't, because sometimes we might be a holiday, we don't take it. Is there a way, maybe if we can, because we'll never make it automated, we have to make sure that we're still taking the money correctly. The answer is I don't see that happening anytime soon. Cynthia Martinez, where do they stream? We stream on Facebook. Nathan, do you plan to get the license from the Witcher series? The answer is there is no plans right now. That is already very well catered for at this high end. Maybe in a couple of years' time, after everyone has looking for new statues, then we can have another conversation. Because those types of statues, those types of games are evergreen now. Definitely Witcher 3 is an evergreen statue line in the future. So hey, 10 years time, see you there. Ethan Palmer, chance for a RuneScape line. Hey, if you're into MMO, you rally the fans, let me see what people think. If it gets tons of support on Fun Day, we will have a conversation about that. Oh, sorry, I missed Randy's question. What makes the cost of a dynamic pose so much more expensive? Packaging is an issue. If you make it bigger like that, it can lead to a much bigger overall volume of space in terms of the packaging. I don't say it necessarily makes a huge difference in terms of the costs. It's just the packaging and just generally
maybe time-wise a bit more work than your standard museum pose.
Yeah, I would say so
because you got to consider different. Oh, is this turn right? Is this position right? Should that leg
or
arm move
okay,
like
well
that?
that's for sure. If you look at the actual, you're absolutely right, Chocks. I was looking at the cost of the factory. That's what, but if you look at the cost of actually making it, not necessarily product, but the effort in making it, and of course effort is time. Time is money. Way harder, way more expensive from that aspect of it, because this is as one of many factors that come with the final cost. Back to Ethan's questions. Will Rider Link be in scale with anything currently available or on its own thing? It will be the same size as a Link on Epona. Norma Jean, any chance to have a sneak peek of the base from True Form Midnight? I know it's been a long time ago. The base is already designed. Can we have a new sneak peek? We are locking that down. But the good news is True Form Midna will be submitted to Nintendo next week. 100% guaranteed. Joshua Harmon. So, if you were to get the My Hero Academia, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Attack on Titan lines, what would be the first couple of statues we make for each one of them? The answer to that would be whatever ranked highly on the poll. Can we realistically expect a Priscilla statue further down the line for DS after Mimic, Nito, etc.? We want to lock down absolutely any more announcements because we are already now talking years in the future now. Nito is not going to be even anywhere near coming until maybe the end of the year. And now you want to talk about after that? That's like taking the mick because we feel like it's not. It's kind of mean to you guys to tell you that yeah, it's coming for sure, and then but you got to wait a year and a half before you even see it. It's kind of like a little bit, not nice. We don't want to be. We don't want to do that.
Over promise or overestimate.
Yeah.
Hey, a year's down the line, something might come in there and it screws the whole plan up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More generally, when will the first Dark Souls lady be getting done? Near future or way down the line? Again, so not for the next year. So way down the line. Also, my Sif points just cleared now, and now I'm a bronze tier. Congratulations, mate. When Celeste ships, will my reward points be based on entry or bronze? It will be on bronze. It used to be on tier. It used to be on entry, but we fixed that problem.
And it'll mention it. It'll mention it on the points as well.
Yeah, it will show that you get extra points because you've leveled up. It's really clever. I showed something about that about 2 months ago. You will be happy that has been implemented. Victor Navarro Vilgrin, I feel that you guys releasing statues that the same demographics would buy. I mean, we had Shovel Knight next to Ornstein. Now you say next week the pre-orders for SD Artorias and March from Berserk. Sure, many people would still pre-order the FlexiPay, but some might pass on a statue like Shovel Knight over Ornstein or Guts. What do you think about it? Absolutely agree that it's a reason why we actually delaying Guts, because we feel that's closer to Ornstein. But it is what it is. Nothing we can really do about it. The licenses are finite in time. And if we sit there and we take into consideration that we can't be sure that everybody, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily that those who bought, I would definitely say overlap between Guts and Ornstein. I wouldn't say there would be that much overlap between Ornstein and Shovel Knight.
And also, like,
but everyone's different.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's like when we try to think of when we try to make these.
Yo, Jeff.
Hey, man.
How's Blighty?
How's the flight?
How's the flight? How's Blighty, mate? Jeff's now on holiday in the UK, taking advantage of Chinese New Year. How's the fam? Let us know in the comments.
So yeah, about we were like every time when we think about these counter samples, they're all running at the same time, but sometimes approvals and complications affects these counter samples, so that's why some of the launches can be affected as well. So it's not like in a perfect world, we would space these launches to make sure that they don't aim for the same demographic, right? So it is sometimes very hard to juggle that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm really shocked when people. I remember being at NYCC and I go to the people. I go, "What are the top three characters that you find on this booth?" And they would come with completely different things.
Everyone's different. It's like
really much so. They would like go, "Oh yeah, I love my Spyro."
Some people,
I don't like Guts. I'm like, dude, they're like completely different. I don't care. I love them both. I'm like, damn. So I have no idea. I would never have said, "Oh, if you go Guts and then you go Spyro, the same demographics are gonna buy it." I'll be like, totally won't be. But no, they're like, "No, yeah, Guts and Spyro. Oh yeah." And I like it, just something completely random as well. I'm like, dude, that's like they don't even. But of course, everyone's
different.
Very, very diverse.
It might seem like same demographic. I know we try and avoid that, but hey, some people still want them to come. To launch back to back.
Good to hear that, Jeff. I'm glad to hear that you slept like a baby and the flight was smooth. How's it good? It's been 4 years since Blighty, mate. How is it?
Oh, it's only 4 years.
Good to be back. Happy to. When's the last time you were back? 10 years ago?
No, it wasn't that long. Maybe 5, 6 years.
5, 6 years.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that long. Maybe around about the same time.
4 years ago.
Yeah. Anyways.
Randy Gerards, do you prefer to make statues like puzzles that people have to set up in order to prevent breakages, or would you like to make it at least pieces as possible? Personally, I had to put the effort into having a setup piece. The answer is we want to make it as less complicated as possible, but because that means we don't have to worry about parts and stuff like that. But the answer is it's really to do with shipping. That is the only thing that we care about. Can it arrive safely? Can it pass a drop test? What about having contests at the club where people can win personalized upgrades to one of their orders? Like what? All up for it. Give me examples. Philip Essinger. Hey guys, Alex, you once mentioned that if it was possible to make a Breath of the Wild link with a variant paint job, it would if Crash sells well. Do you have any news on that? I don't have any news on that. That's something we can look into later. Do you have any numbers of the Crash and Link PVC? How many did you deliver of those two? Now, Link was probably 3 times as many as Crash, I would say. I hard numbers is not something that we want to be releasing, but we're talking tens of thousands here. Okami PVC, can you please do something with the base like you did with the front of Link's base? I'm guessing on the front of Crash's base. I prefer there's something on the Amaterasu base. The Amaterasu base is already done, and it looks tight, it looks sweet, and it makes sense. It looks good. And Andy Gerards, do you have a list of people who you think might order a certain piece and then validate your assumption afterwards? A list of club. Yeah, it's called TT. I go straight to TT saying, who has been lying? You said you would buy it, and you didn't. To be honest with you, Randy, I do not have the time to go through a list to go, oh yeah, he ordered it. Oh no, he didn't. It is what it is, and we see when people place their orders. Sometimes when they do the who validated or they come and they go, oh, you see all the people who ordered. And much respect to those who supported us for that. We don't have a list that we go through. People will buy what they want to buy if they feel the affiliation, if they feel they want to have it, etc., etc. So that is what we do. Scott Frame, you mentioned Shadow Fighter Kirby as an example, but is an actual possibility. Of course, there's a possibility. Have you made a physical 3D print test for Trueform Midna yet? In terms of the ridicule, I don't understand. Physical 3D print test. What does that even mean? You mean the small one? No point. It's already at the physical stage. Still planning Q2 for Trueform Midna. Don't know. There's a different question. You know, that's all to do with the big N. Bonus question: do you guys ever go on vacation? The answer is have not been on vacation. I can't even call NYCC a vacation. No, that was a working bloody ass time. That was hard working. The last time I went on vacation, went on holiday, was to Thailand, 2 years ago.
What about going to Japan?
Mate, you think going to see your in-laws is a fucking vacation? That's a jail sentence. Let's be clear about something right now. In terms of an actual vacation, that would have been when I went to Phuket.
Yeah.
When was that? You were with us at the time, yeah?
No.
You weren't? So then 2 years ago.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Nah.
2 years ago.
That must be before me.
Yeah. So maybe I was actually talking to Kanako. Actually said maybe what I'll do is after a week's time, on Friday Q&A next week, it will be the launch of SD. And the launch of SD Artorias.
Chinese New Year.
I will go on Saturday, till Tuesday morning to be back for the validation stream. Maybe go to Taiwan. So I asked, if you had any experience, just to sort of take the kids away. Especially
that's all right for a couple of days in time.
Yeah, and the main thing is because the kids have actually gone on holiday a week earlier than expected because of the influenza outbreak.
School holiday.
Well, influenza outbreak. They should have been at school until Wednesday the 14th, but they came off on Friday.
Yeah.
No, Thursday. Exactly.
Thursday,
so that's the point.
So they're bored out of their brains.
Well, it's not. They don't get bored out of their brains. They just sit there watching TV all the time.
Good, isn't it?
Bernard said, any thoughts of a Cuphead statue? The TT is already 350, and the black white variant would be a no-brainer. The threshold for different. Oh wow. Okay. Well, if we went for 350 plus, that's interesting. If we could then take Shovel Knight as an example, and then have that as a combo pack with black and white version. That would be more interesting. Jesse Herrera, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. What do I need to do to get that on your radar? You don't need to do anything to get that on your radar. I loved that game. Really, really liked it. I loved the impact of the melee system. I thought it was amazing. I loved the storyline. I loved the whole thing. I think Ninja Theory did an amazing job. That's your old haunt, isn't it, Chocks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any influence with that?
Oh, the PS3 launch game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? What?
I worked on the PS3 launch title. Heavenly Sword.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I'm just saying about Senua's Sacrifice.
I did not have any input. On
Yeah,
that?
no, I'm just saying. No, from back in the day.
Yeah. I think they still remember.
You're like, yeah. I think you guys should make something called Senua's Sacrifice. Yeah. See you later. I'm off to Hong Kong. Yeah. And then 5 years later.
It's my idea.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So the answer is it is. I love it, but Rally, maybe a TT. Let's TT it sometime.
Yeah. Maybe some of the Ninja Theory guys. If there's any Ninja Theory guys in the Collectors Club,
Hit us up.
hit me up.
Yeah.
Do you remember me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? I failed that bug, didn't I? I failed your fixes.
Michael Palot, morning guys. How are you? Just finishing my coffee. Everything. Are you ready for your weekly FMA questions? I am. Have you ever watched the anime, read the manga? If so, what's your favorite part? Try to keep it spoiler free. Yes, and the answer is the bit that most, I don't say it was literally my favorite bit, but certainly the one that I most remember, of course, is of course, no spoilers. Considering that you have all the characters planned out, why don't you what about the homunculus would be a most what homunculus would be the most fit for the statue material? The licensor is a little bit like, don't say anything, so I'm going to keep it. I haven't explicitly asked them, and I want to run that by them before we start talking about most of that sort of stuff. Considering the delay, has Alphonse been pushed back to Q2, or is it currently undetermined? It's currently undetermined at this stage. We haven't finished it before Chinese New Year, but we can submit that soon enough. But you guys got to be warned. It's going to be big. It's going to be expensive. Prepare yourself. Cedric Bardo. I was thinking of this scene. Absolutely not the other one. Okay, fair enough. But I knew you coming up to the rape horse. JT. Hey, guys. I'm still lurking here for an update regarding the T-shirt merchandise you guys were looking to create in the future. I'm curious whether that's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 months. I just simply need to choose a shop to get that fulfillment thing done. So the answer is, yeah. Why not have a look at it after... This Chinese New Year will be a nice lull instead of pushing.
Maybe
for things.
have it on sale on Gamescom. If this, if we manage to get things chosen and all printed.
Yep. Also, how's the development going for Spyro Cinder? The answer is pretty much. I've been working on Spyro, and because Cinder is a joint piece, I needed to make Spyro okay before, and he's not looking as high anymore.
Hey, my hat's not filthy. It's a pattern. That's how it is. Ryan says my hat's filthy, but it's not. It's a pattern.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see it more in the front. Yeah, it's not.
It's not.
JT, are you guys coming? Are you planning to come have F4F represent F4F at the Dutch Comic Con coming in March? The answer is nope. We don't think Comic Cons are even the right kind of crowd for us. JT, also, how's the partnership with Torch coming along? Yeah, great. Has the revenue been any good for DS rings so far? Yeah, we've had it's good to do it in terms of the number, a couple of hundred pieces, something like that. Can we expect to see even more rings being made by the near future, such as the Leo ring? Possibility for display cases for the rings. Sorry, that information, we do not have that information. That's all to do with Torch. Jesse Herrera, also during Chinese New Year, will you still see your beautiful faces on Friday, or will we have to be out for a month as well? No, we will still be back at it again. You best believe we ain't going nowhere unless we are in another country. Michael Pilot, that answer to your favorite part was savage. Here are some more. I know it's most likely a secret, but what kind of differences are we looking at? Alphonse, base change, LEDs. Honestly, Alphonse's exclusive is pretty sweet. It makes sense. It's from a scene. Hopefully you'll like it. Have you told the licensor how much pain I am at asking you? I always know as soon as I see you on a Q&A what you're going to be asking me. So never change. Just like Paolo never says anything other than where's my guts and where is Alucard. I always know that Michael is going to be asking me about Alphonse. How much of a challenge is it to make a statue the size of Alphonse beside shipping? Not difficult. Physical difficulties are never anything apart from just physically being bigger. If I get too pushy with these questions on the license, feel free to slap me in the face if you can make it to Canada, of course. I'll bear that in mind, but no, mate, you're all good, mate. We're always very happy to answer any questions. That is what this Friday Q&A is all about. All right, I see a friend is typing a comment before we wrap it up. We are going to be doing the who that, and we have a Chocks, who that. How many people are going to get points this time round? Give me a prediction.
No one.
No one? What happened last week?
Nobody won.
Nobody won?
Yeah.
What levels did they get to?
Not even worth mentioning. Level 2 and died, and level 1 and died. Matt Watkins and Ashley Liang.
Oh god, I've got no
what?
No because I've taken off the data connection. So I just put it back on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all good.
When are you guys?
Colin Matthews says, "I'll slap it for you."
When are you guys coming back to NYC? Ooh.
Never. We are. Oh, NYC, just in terms of NYC, but in terms of the CC, we would never go back for the CC.
Ooh.
Unless we had tons of merchandise to sell. That's a different conversation, maybe then. Once we know what the hell we're doing, we'll try it again.
2019, maybe? 2020?
Yeah.
2020. Well, everyone's typing test already in the comments. Yeah, who's that? Oh,
Should be. Yeah. I'm assuming.
no.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Like, without the obvious stuff. Let's just have a look. Oh, no. What?
It ain't. That ain't it.
Yes, it is.
Are you sure?
Yes, it is.
All right then. All right then.
Let's just...
Oh, Matt Watkins here. I got to level 3 and died. Really? Really?
God, look, I'm scrolling through this. What do I see?
Who that? Who it? Who that? Who that?
All right, guys. We're getting ready for your Who Dat. Who Dat. It's a test. 2 lucky winners. Oops.
Chance up for 8,000 reward points. Yeah, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000.
Yeah, good luck with that.
8,000. It's only 5 games.
All right, guys, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. With regards to Who Dat, let me know in the comments right now. First 2 lucky winners.
Ooh.
Who Dat, Who Dat, Who Dat, Who Dat. Who that, who that? Who that, who that? We need the full name of the character, please. Thank you very much.
Character.
Who... And turn up brightness. Oh, it's pretty bright already. Who that, who that? Keep an eye on that.
Toby from Naruto, huh?
Who that, who that?
I think
Who that?
it's
who
quite
that?
good, right? Everyone's going for, it's it's like the color red.
Yeah.
Lots of red characters there. Devil May Cry, Hellboy, Nightmare, Hawkeye, Deadpool.
Who that? Who
Vincent
that?
Valentine, M. Bison. Wow. Iron Man, Ivy, Spider-Man, Thanos, Hulkbuster, Dante, Claire Redfield, Helsing, Sam Fisher,
Who that? Who that?
Vincent Valentine's, Nero, Red Hood. Okay, I'm lost.
Who that? Who that?
Anyone?
Who that? Who that? Yeah.
Anyone? Aaron, Dante, Chris Redfield, Cable, Jill Valentine's, Cable, Marcus, Phoenix, Chris, Doom Guy, Vincent, Nathan Drake. Ooh, Ooh, Ashley's just joined.
Done.
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 Done. Sam Fisher. Congratulations to Andrew Apprentice. And we got Michael Pilot. OMG. If you get to 8K, I will absolutely just show you Alphonse. No, I'll just send it to you. Forget about the 8K points. I'll just send it to you so you can tell us what you think of it. It is time to go. We're going to kick it off with Andrew Prentice. We have two coins. We have 3 coins, 2 hands. 3 coins, 4 hands. Here we go. For a chance to win 500 reward points, choose either hand number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4 for a chance to win 500 reward points. Get it on the board. Let us know.
This is for Andrew.
This is for Andrew.
Yeah.
What hand you're going to go for? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a 75% chance to win something.
You have a 25% chance to choose a hand that doesn't have a coin.
That's how we should talk about it.
Yeah,
Should talk about it.
yeah.
Hey Martin, did you know that you won this week's hashtag? Congratulations, mate. Just in case I didn't see you on the stream before, just to let you know. See, Brenton says 1, Carol says 3, Martin says 2. Yes, Andrew, it was you. Did you not remember that you said Sam Fisher? It is you, Andrew. Choose 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm all working. Got this. So, are you telling me you just threw out the word Sam Fisher and got lucky? Let us know in the comments. 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Good luck, Andrew.
Cedric says number 4.
Go for it.
Andrew says low awesome, but that's not a number I recognize.
500.
He's gone for number
points.
3. All right. If you had chosen hand number 1, you would have got yourself 500 war points. If you had chosen hand number 2, you would have got yourself 500 war points. But no, you decided to go 50-50 and boom!
Ooh.
And number 3. Will you continue? If you decide to keep going, you're going to be facing a situation where there are 2 coins and 1 hand. As what 2 coins in 3 hands. You have a chance to win 1,000 reward points. You have a 66% chance of getting the right answer if you choose hand number 1, number 2, or number 3. If you decide you want to bank your 500 reward points, you may do so. Just let us know what you would have gone for had you decided to not run away. Or as Chocks says, walk away. Let us know in the comments. He's going to go for it. Nice one. Brenton says 2. Carol says 3. Andrew, will you say a different number? Martin says 1. You have now 3 choices. Andrew's gone for number 1 with confidence because it comes with boom and 2 in caps and 3 exclamation marks and the double emphasis on the number 1. I can tell you if you'd chosen hand number 2, you would have got yourself 1,000 reward points. But no, you decided to make it difficult and go for a 50-50 chance. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, denied.
Yeah.
Denied. Sorry about that, Andrew. You can go back to work now. Don't you worry, mate.
Back to work.
Back to work. Right, Michael, your turn for a chance to get Alphonse right now. Let's go. Here we go.
Actually, what kind of work are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. For a chance to win Alphonse, let us go. Would you want...
Let's double check again. Let's double check again.
What?
Come down here.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we're happy, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you guys happy, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright then.
Let's
do it.
Okay, alright. Alright, here we go. Michael, for a chance to win 500 war points. Let's do it. Hand number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4 for a chance to win 500 war points. Let us know in the comments.
You remember
yeah, what
Friends?
Was that? Friends, yeah. Was that basically well, fuck you or something?
I don't know.
I think it was,
I don't know what it means.
MJP says 3. Brenton says 1.
It says 1. Carol says 2.
Nana says 1.
1.
I'm definitely starting with 4. No questions asked.
Oh,
he seems very confident that he's gonna get. He's very confident that he's gonna get his Alphonse.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. I can tell you, if you'd chosen hand number 1, you would have gotten yourself towards getting that Alphonse because it would have. Yeah.
Oh, he's a graphic designer.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
If you were chosen hand number 3, you would have got yourself 500 war points. But no, you decided to go 50-50. You said no ifs, no questions answered. You decided to go for the hand number 4 for a chance to win yourself Alfonso. 3, 2, 1. Oh, D9, 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 D9.
My predictions.
Honestly, I feel like we're becoming more and more evil as the weeks go past. We're like taking absolute schadenfreude.
All that pent-up stress. All that pent-up stress.
Such a feeling of schadenfreude when we're like, right, take them down. No points. Not out the starting. I do apologize. Unlucky to you, Michael. That is a shame.
Well played, guys.
Well played. Thank you for choosing. Thank you very much for being a good sport, and thank you for playing in that game. Hopefully you get better luck next time.
Yeah.
That was indeed pretty painful.
Yeah.
I was like saying D9.
D9. You've had your fair shares of
I said it's become
denial.
As we get.
It's like an industry term. You want that license?
Denied. Guys, we have a little cute video for you guys. We've never done one of these kind of videos before. We will see you. It's about 5 minutes long. We will see you on the other side. We want to know what you think of that kind of video. Should we do more of them? Let us know what you think. We will, of course, be posting this in lovely 4K later on in the, afterwards, just for you want to see. But wanted to show you guys, check your sound. We're not sure how it's going to sound. We will see you on the other side. Know what you guys think of that video. Obviously you could see there was an amazing model in that video. My boy Chocks, really great job. I think
that was easy. It's Jeffrey's work.
I think he did a fantastic job. I'd love to hear what you guys think. What do you think of that? We just tested one out with King of Red Lions. Yes, you've already received it. Yes, you know what it looks like. But to be honest with you, that took a ton of effort. I know we want to do it for,
Yeah.
and it's really difficult for Jeffrey to do that. Production videos, upcoming product launches, all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of difficult to do for. I know we should be doing them for all of them, but it's actually really hard. But hopefully you guys like the production values of that. What did you think of that? I felt it looked really, really good. What do you guys think? I think the team did a really good job on that. I want more field height. Would these videos be like this released around the pre-order phase? The answer is no, because we don't have the packaging. We don't have the molded polyfoam. We don't have the day one card. We don't have any of that stuff, so we couldn't do that.
It'll be once the product is out, that kind of timeline.
And also a great, so Ryan says it's a great idea to repackage it.
Repackage it up.
Yeah.
Well, there's no need to, right? Because you can see everything all laid out.
No. He's saying, but the way that you open it up, you can see where they were. So so that's good.
So you just pause it on the screen and just put everything back in that same position.
Yeah. So Matt likes it. He'd like to see it on all statues. Brenton thinks it's a great job. Lawrence loving the music. What is up, Quinn? Thanks for joining us, mate.
If you guys want to watch that again, we'll upload that onto YouTube as well, so you guys get to see that in for future reference.
Yeah. And look, Kurt says, I'm loving it. It makes you guys look more professional. And then anybody comes and sees our stream, they go, oh, dude, who the fuck are these guys? Like, we're so not professional.
All of a sudden, have a look at our video.
Yeah.
All professional.
Yeah, we professional. Profesh. We're so professional, we're profesh. I don't see the point in them then, unless it's to hype the product, right? Hunter, you're absolutely right. There is no value in terms of extra sales for us to do that. It's more like a sort of piece of history, information, history, sort of like a record of stuff that King of Red Lions existed, and this is the product that we made, and it's almost like a kind of like showcase piece. And sometimes, and a great example is King of Red Lions, the original prototype, which was what we sold, is drastically different to the final piece. Now, if you looked at the King of Red Lions product picture, originally you would have seen the sail was just one side.
Yeah.
You would have seen the colors were completely different.
There's like five or six different changes.
Quite a lot of different changes, yeah. And the so yeah, as I said, of course it makes sense to do these videos all the time. It's bandwidth issues and what needs to be done first. Well, I can tell you that this is probably lower on the end because we have to do first things first. The first things first is to do those. So for Nana say, he says, brilliant video to show customers exactly what to expect. Well, actually, that's what the production videos are for. When I go to do those narrations of the production videos, like I did for Katamari, that's what you can expect. That video, the King of Red Lions, is an example of more like a showcase example of the end. It's not about. It's not supposed to be about what to manage expectations. Yeah. That's what my production videos are about. And as we do more of those in high def, all that sort of stuff, that would be at the point for people to understand that.
The video that we just shown,
which
is more like, hey, this is what it looks like in the box and out of the box. How many pieces are in the box?
Yeah, it's more like a snapshot. It's not about trying to tell people, oh, here's managing your expectations. Nana said that's not what it's about. That video is specifically and will always be done. Those production videos that I do and I narrate, those behind the scenes, which we kicked it off with Nightmare. We did it with Katamari. I've done it with Silver. I've done it with Majora's Mask. I haven't posted obviously Majora's Mask or Silver. And I haven't. I did one other one for whatever the first one, Fighter Kirby, I believe it was. So people have a better idea of what to expect. That's the time that they can find that, because at that time it's still in the still in the warehouse. Still in the factory. Because there's a huge delay between when that happens and I do those videos versus when we receive it in the office, and shooting that, filming that, editing that is a ton of work. And when you're in between launches, okay, maybe, but it always seems to be, really late. How long was that session? A whole day or something?
Well, it was quick for me, but we had to make sure that, hey, this thing aligns. We got to think how would a person unbox it, in what order, and we need to kind of put the pieces in the right order. So, for example, I don't know, you put the the handle in first,
Yeah.
then you put link on, then you put the shield after,
Yeah.
then you put the sail on. It's well, the first thing is you have to put the battery in first. So we've got to think that way. You got to think, how would you set it up? And it's quite good that, hey, this is kind of it's like a video form of an instruction manual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Ryan says, I'm curious as to what type of car your license plate is going on. I can imagine it being a hood style Impala bouncing down the road on 24s. All I can say is in your mock-up, you were very, very close to it. I got a red car. And that's about as close as it was in terms of what you got from there. So well, yeah, Nana, say is it an instruction video? Yeah, I guess you could call it an instructional video. I guess that's what you could call it, but again, it's more like it's not like you particularly need an instruction to put them together, but it's more like an archive. And it's nice to have to go back and reminisce. I would love to watch that video in 5 years' time and go, oh yeah, do you remember when we did King of Red Lions? Check it out. Oh, look, beautiful, 4K. Remember the packaging. Oh, what a packaging look like. Oh, there it is. It's just nice to do that. Did we have any turnarounds with the packaging? We didn't, did we?
Well, just in the video.
Yeah.
I think we did shoot it, but
It was just like the top logo and then opening it. There was no like turnarounds with the packaging.
I don't think there was.
Well, there should be. If it, as a kind of make the hood ornament LOE.
The what?
The hood ornament on the front of my car. LOE. Like, how your Jaguar.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just something nice to, definitely should have the packaging in as well. It's nice to sort of see that. How long does the production videos take to produce? The production videos don't take too long because it's really my footage. I'm already speaking and narrating, and then it's just adding some text and editing it so it all fits together. I think that's he can bust that out in a day or less than, right? My production videos, something like that. But filming and then editing and those effects for that King of Red Lions, way longer.
Yeah.
3-4 days minimum.
I guess so, because they're working back and forth, jumping project to project.
Yeah, well, actually, what you should do is get a list. You need to work with Jeffrey to come back with a list of how long it takes him to do different things so we can manage expectations. And how can we improve it? Do we need to get a dog's body to come and help him, just for the day, just to do this, hold the light here, do that, and I can do it much quicker, etc., etc., and that will allow him to speed up. We've got to do that because, yes, it would be nice to do them for all of them, but the answer is, what is the reality of doing that? It's there's not enough hours in a day, simply physical limitation.
Yeah, physical, yeah.
So, yeah. Right.
I did it before, like ages ago. When was it? Quite a while back. I did take photos. Remember, like when I did the R-wing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I did a photo form of an unboxing.
Yeah.
From a shipper box.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously this is slick.
Yeah.
There's no way to doubt it.
Video form is always better.
It's
Better than
slick.
photos. Yeah.
It's slick, and it makes me really proud of it. I think he's done a fantastic job. I think you did a great job. I think the whole thing was fantastic, and I feel really, really proud seeing it. So there's that as well. That added sort of extra benefit. I like that. But I would never do that at the cost of taking the photos of the next upcoming product, as an example.
Yeah.
And as we looked into it, when we looked into our schedule, we're looking at one every 2 weeks for the foreseeable future. If everything goes smoothly, license or willing, one every 2 weeks. And if that's the case, he takes a week to make the videos minimum, and that's involving him killing himself by staying up till like 4 a.m, right? He takes 3 days to take the photos. That's another example. And there you go, it's finished. Then there's another launch coming up because it's already been 2 weeks. Where are you going to have time to do the other videos? Well, it becomes, now you understand the difficulties, guys. It's not easy. Thanks, Kurt. We really are very, very proud of how far we've come, for sure. For sure. Yeah, Kurt, the boxing video is really different clips altogether. There's a lot of editing in that. And it's also setting it all up, the studio, all that sort of stuff. So, for sure. Job security.
Job security.
Take a really long time to do everything, and therefore you never go anywhere.
Yeah. There is a saying in Chinese though: if you ever get your job done, the company is out of business. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because you have to have constant work.
Yeah, absolutely. When are you guys going to show off that Psycho Manta statue? Going to be a while. We're still doing Snake right now, so yeah, it's going to be a while. Got so many things to get through. You know, we've already launched. We've sort of already penciled into April already, and that's not even. We still tons of stuff that we haven't even looked at. That's from NYCC still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting times, guys. I've got to say, we're very excited for this year, for sure. All right, guys, this is going to be wrapping it up. Chocks, we have some announcements about, obviously, what we talked about before in terms of opening up Orny, etc., etc. You want to just go through that, and then we're going to wrap it up.
All right, guys, just a quick reminder. So, tonight we are closing Solid Snake pre-order for the exclusive version. That's going to be on paused, so there will be no waitlist for that. Because 2 weeks later, that's when Snake has its last chance weekend, from the 23rd to the 26th. Last chance weekend for exclusive Solid Snake, and then it'll be waitlist after that once it's closed. And then Solid Snake is closed. Ornstein opens tonight for last chance weekend, and that's going to start after the stream up until next Monday. So that's it. Final chance, last chance weekend. Make sure you get your pre-orders in. For the flexi payment plans, because after that it's waitlist and there's no guarantee. As always, the waitlist is somebody has to cancel their confirmed pre-order, and then you get bumped up onto that list. So yeah, straightforward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also this week, I forgot to mention that we have reached out to those who have been affected by both Nightmare and Fighter Kirby shortages.
Yep.
So that's been officially announced, although of course we talked about it earlier, I think a couple of streams ago. But of course, those that were affected obviously weren't on the stream, and they get the bad news via emails. And CS will work through that accordingly. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns, etc.? There are 91 people at this end of the stream, so there will be a feeding frenzy right after in the next 15 minutes or so, and then we will be...
Yeah, and then fingers crossed, everything goes smoothly. Next Friday, reservation weekend for Dark Souls SD line. First PVC SD. Yeah, in the new line. So new low numbers for exclusive Dark Souls RT, and hopefully that line will do really well for us.
Really hoping so.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Johnny DeJesus, does that mean Fighter Kirby regular has the same issues? Because I was told my one comes in March, April. I guess so. To be honest with you, I didn't really focus in on the regular, but I guess so as well. But mine comes in March, April. That shouldn't make sense unless it's already been made. If someone's told you March, April, that doesn't make sense. Because there's no way it will be ready in March and April. If they have to remake it, no way is it coming out in March or April. It's going to be more like May, June.
Hey, Brendan, if next Friday is the first SD line, we're planning the next resin after that. 2
weeks afterwards. We're going to be hitting one every 2 weeks now for the foreseeable future. Okay, guys.
License pending, of course.
License pending, of course. Yeah. So we will be back at it again into the resins, and I can tell you that will be a lovely one.
It'll be like resin, PVC, then resin. It'll be like that, hopefully.
Luke, how were you kicked from the stream? You just mean internet was not good? How did that work?
Yeah, that's what they told me in email. You only got one email? Did you get another email?
Did you get the generic email? Because I wrote it. And I wrote it to say May, June. Certainly not March, April. Phil made a mistake by telling people it was going to be March, April about SIF replacements, which is totally incorrect. And then he followed up and he read, no, it's going to be available in May, April. I said, what the fuck do you mean May, April? It's always May and then June. Why would you go, oh yeah, I mean, dude.
Maybe May, April 2019.
Well, there you go. That would be the one way to get out of it. Yeah. April for Reg Nightmare. There's, unless there is stock sitting here in China and it goes on the boat, that's the only way you'll get it in April for Reg Nightmare. So the answer is I don't know the specifics about it. Really could be that, really couldn't be. I have no idea, to be honest with you. Just I can tell you that if it has to be remade, there's no chance it will be done in that time. If it's already there and it just need to get on the next boat, then April is absolutely correct, because it will just get on the next boat with him along with Majora's Mask. Michael says it's his birthday in mid-May. Well, I can certainly tell you it was not your birthday today. So, losing at who that on around 1. You are in very, very short company to be losing who that right at level 1. Will the SD come before or Orni or after? What do you mean by that?
You mean actual in the market?
Mr. Jacobson, make sure you add the hashtag, otherwise it does not count. Hashtag F4F NEOOOW. Need that hashtag.
I would say the SD come before Orni, because Orni needs, you know.
You mean into the marketplace?
Yeah.
I guarantee you the SD is already deep in production. Will be in the marketplace way before Ornstein.
Yeah, because
like 6 months before
Ornstein.
Ornstein.
Resin usually takes much longer than PVCs.
Absolutely. All right, guys, there you go. In the market, yeah. So absolutely, SD will be way before Orni. We're gonna have SD if everything goes smoothly at the same time as the remastered version.
Yeah, remastered game.
Greg, if everything goes smoothly, Alucard will be after, after the SD line. SD Artorias.
Pending approval.
Pending approval.
Yeah, licensor approval.
Yeah. What's going on with Morrigan and Dante? Seems extremely quiet. We're still working on those behind the scenes. Everything's looking tight. But we've been focusing on the stuff that we have to get done now. And that is been kicking us to try and get the next 3 months worth of resins ready, in which we have been. So those now it's time to start attention to looking at those other ones. So Sith replacements will be May, June. I can't tell you anything until we start those numbers. But realistically speaking, I would expect it to be something like that.
And Zero was like, ooh, almost there. It could have gone pre-order. It was almost there, but it still needs that final tweaking.
Yeah. Yeah. We can make it a bit better. Yeah. All right, Angela, enjoy your tea. Perfect. I just wanted to see Mr. Jacobson get his correct hashtag. He's done that. That is the cue for ending the stream. Guys, much love. You joined us throughout the stream. We really appreciate it. As always, we've been enjoying your company. Hope you've had a great time with us. It is hashtag number 57 with this Friday Q&A with Chocks A. It is, of course, the 9th of February 2018. An absolute pleasure, as always. We will be back at it again next week. It will be the opening of the... What do we call it again? The Reservation Friday. We're calling it Reservation Friday for Artorias SD. So Dark Souls fans, please do come and join us, and hopefully you will see what we've done for the lovely exclusive packaging. It looks absolutely sweet. We will be next week doing videos
like we did, like
the
we
documentaries.
Did with, for example, like we did with the Breath of the Wild link.
And the Crash. Yep, absolutely. And 91 F4F reward points to be up for grabs times by 100 in the next 50 minutes. So do not go anywhere. We will see you in the club. As always, thank you so much for your support. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Chuckles.
F4F is love.
F4F is life.
And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Laters.